edition. How did Jordan Love put it? He's definitely a player we need back edition. He didn't listen to Josh Jacobs, so is Goody going to listen to Jordan Love? Didn't listen to Aaron Rodgers. Certainly doesn't listen to me. Does he listen to Jordan Love edition? The Dame is back for Game 2, and hope springs eternal in Milwaukee for an NBA championship. The only 1,426 more protein muffins for Tausch to eat before he's polished them all off edition. And the Feel Good Friday featuring our friend Mark Osiki and Casting for Kids. I feel like we've done that as long as he's done it. He's been on our show to talk about it. We look forward to that conversation with Oz Again edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, still trying to figure out Facebook, but definitely YouTube, and of course everything you need on the all-new, improved, free, no in-app purchases. It's all free, customizable. I'm using it for all my transcriptions now whenever we have a guest on the program that I need to double dip with. It is the ESPN Wisconsin app. Find it in the Android and Apple app stores.
The app transcribes conversations?
No, I listen, I type. That's how I transcribe.
There has to be something out there that transcribes for you now.
AI? Yeah, well, it's not. There's some things. There's something on. You can record. Like if I call you later today, and want to talk strategy or protein muffins, I can hit this little record button on the call now, and I can record it. I did this with Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment because he was helping me out with an 8th grade dance planning committee that I'm on, it's great. It was awesome. He's so great at what he does. Of course,
no, we're not talking. We all know Jeffrey's great.
Jeffrey's the best.
What the hell are you? You're on an 8th grade dance committee,
Did you volunteer? Did you get assigned?
No, I did. I'm the only dad on it, and quite frankly, I'm not sure my contributions have interested folks, but I feel like I've helped a little bit.
What are your
anyway? You can.
Is that a good
what are
fit?
Your contributions? It's not a good fit, but Jason, I appreciate Jason being involved in his kid's life. What's the?
I don't think. Do you feel like you know me well enough to say? I would think that all this time together, you would think I'd be great on a committee like that.
No.
I'm an idea man.
No, not on a.
I came up with the food idea. Yeah.
You don't know anything about music. What are you talking about?
I'm not the DJ.
What are you calling Jeffrey about that?
There's a lot of planning that has to go into this sort of. By the way, I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson's in the Everett Solar ESPN Madison.
It's an 8th grade dance. How it's not that hard.
So they have a theme. It's called City Lights, and I was the one who said, "Well, if we're going to call it City Lights, what about like a New York City theme, right? Like in the city." Right?
You're not in New York. You're not in New
No,
York.
we're not.
Green Bay.
But I'm not sure we're limited to the greater Green Bay Metroplex as a concept. So we've got I can't believe I have to justify myself.
Was there a vote on the City Lights theme, or did someone?
No.
That was mandated?
I was not involved. That decision was made before I joined the committee. So my suggestions were, from a decoration standpoint, we do some you get some cardboard and we build some city buildings. We get some lighting like street lamps. And then I said, if we're going to, and you have to have food at an 8th grade dance. And my suggestion was not quite the same as, I hadn't heard about the trip to Tokyo and Hiroshima. So I didn't know that you could have vending machines on the streets like you do in Japan. I said we need to have New York street food. So you got a pretzel stand and a hot dog stand and a donut stand.
Pretzel in one hand and a Slurpee in the other.
Indeed. So that contribution was big. And then there was some talk about having one of the dads just play the DJ. And I had a great conversation with Jeffrey about what a horrendous idea that is, and that DJs actually are extremely valuable to the quality of your event. Now, does he have a biased opinion because he has a company that does
dance,
that?
Bro, this isn't like a wedding. It doesn't have to be pristine. Like there should be some messiness.
I think I'm about.
I'm just curious. Like, no, I mean,
by the way, I forgot to.
You can't
take
expect
my
it to
shirt
be
back
perfect
from yesterday's TV.
Yeah,
why don't you just
day.
hire Jeffrey to come in and do it then? If budget isn't an issue, bring Jeffrey in.
Because he didn't have that date open.
Wow, this is a very, very nice school that you're at. That you'd even entertain.
We didn't have
Jeffrey.
food at our
That's
eighth
great.
grade dances.
Yeah, who's getting food at an 8th grade dance?
We had like candy
Put
bars
it
you
from
could buy.
3 to 5, and what kind of world? What do you got? Steak? You're gonna have New York strip up there?
No, that's
New York
that's
lobster
for partner
tails?
lunches that I go on.
Shrimp cocktails.
Yeah, with the heavily horseradished.
Tell you
dip
what, I got to send
from-
my kids to your school. Steak dinners and private DJ dances. Wow, that's nice. Dinners at an 8th grade dance. I gotta admit,
it's no one said
what?
dinners.
You just said it.
No, we have food. Like if you're walking down the street in New York, you're not sitting down at the Carnegie Deli and having dinner. You're grab
Not
and
yet.
go.
Give you another week on this planning committee, you might be. You got the Rockettes coming in, for Pete's sake.
that would
You'll
be
have
sad.
a live show of Wicked. All right, well, let's have Wicked come in for the first part, and then we'll have the Rockettes close this bad boy out. Maybe we'll get Jimmy Fallon to do a little comedy in between.
We didn't even have food at our homecoming dance in high school.
Dude, I've never heard of a high school dance having, like, maybe somebody will order pizzas at the end of the night, but I've never heard of that. Like, typically you do it like right after school, and then you do like a 2 or 3 hour thing, and everybody goes home and eats. Oh,
Are you
New York
guys about?
steak.
Are you
New
guys
York
about done?
steak. No, I'm just amazed. Like that is awesome that you have you guys are at that place in your life. It's great.
So the worst part is that Sydney has her gymnastics season-ending banquet, so she won't even be able to attend most of the dance.
What?
She's going to go for a little while, go to her banquet. She had a great gymnastics season, and then she's going to come back. So
You're on the committee
You're on the
for
committee.
a dance.
Get the date set up. Like the whole part of doing that is obviously you want to be a part of your kid's life, blah blah blah. But you want to be able to
blah, blah.
organize it so it actually
blah.
works.
Yeah.
You're on a committee that your own kid ain't even going to be able to make the dance to, and you're sitting there putting. God bless you, Jason Wilde. God bless you.
Coordinating the pasta and salad for the 8th grade dance.
I'm trying to get a hot dog cart. That's my next goal with the umbrella and everything. That's really what I want to be the hot dog guy. All right. Well, this has been productive. I appreciate your input. It seems very sincere and helpful, so thank you for your service. And I don't have control over when they schedule the gymnastics banquet. That was scheduled
No,
after.
You can have control.
Maybe you
You're
should be on
not,
that
you're not
committee.
on the gymnastics committee.
Right,
you're
but
on
the
the
dance
dance
was already
committee.
scheduled. I
Well, you
can't
shoulda-
then go
if
to
you
the
were gonna do
gymnastics
this-
gym and say, hey, you got to change the date.
I think you should
I
have
ain't
been
gonna
on
lie
the
to you.
gymnastics committee. That feels like a better fit.
You don't want. This sounds typical. You got old highfalutin Wilde, Packer beat guy, local celebrity, jumps in the last 10 minutes of the committee after they spent 3 months
Not true.
planning this,
Oh, no.
and then you're
Not
bringing up,
true.
we got to have this, we need a full course meal, we need the Rockettes. All those other people on the committee got to be like, who the hell invited this guy in? We've been planning all this. We were going to throw him some.
invited me.
We were going to throw some popcorn at him, and next thing you know, we're bringing hot dog stands and Slurpees and pretzels and Jimmy Fallon and Lord knows what else. I don't get. Yeah.
We were at a basketball game. It was in between games, and a couple of the moms who have daughters that are teammates of Sid's said, hey, we're doing this dance committee. Would you like to be involved? Now, it turns out it's not just the dance. It also entails this big picnic at the end of the school year and the graduation ceremony. So I didn't even know what I was signing up for.
Oh, my God.
It's like 3 committees in one. And I'm the only dad on it. Jana, thank you for your support.
I'm not being critical. I'm asking
Yes, you
questions, Jana.
No, you're
How
not
is that
asking
being critical?
questions. Come on.
You said he's bringing in the Rockettes.
You said I
is he
came in
not?
the
He's
last
just-
10 minutes of the meeting and changed everything.
Saying that Jason's the guy that swoops in at the last minute after the committee's done all their work and wants to change
Seems
everything.
critical.
That did come across a bit critical. I got to play fair here. I would love to
It's also
continue to talk
accurate.
about this too, for the record, but
It's also accurate. I don't think the committee had any plans of putting together a big dinner for this 8th grade dance. I don't.
There's food stations like on a New York City street. No one is sitting down and trying to figure out which fork and which spoon to use in order.
I mean, if we really want to
yet.
talk about critiquing
Give you 2 more weeks with this committee and they will be.
the theme of city lights for a suburban Green Bay school, I don't know if that's a perfect fit either. I would have maybe reconsidered that before you even got into all the rest of this.
Some are arguing on this panel that I swooped in and changed everything. If I was really a swooper, wouldn't I have changed the theme entirely?
What would you have changed it to?
I didn't
What would
think
you have
about
changed?
that because it had already been said.
Draft and develop.
We can call everyone's name up. We'll draft every one of the 250 kids in order and see who's the kid who ends up as Mr. Irrelevant. All right, this has been fun. It really has.
And critical. And critical.
Very critical. Very, very critical.
Not very.
Pretty critical.
Somewhat
But
critical.
I'm not going to listen to your input for the dance committee, and Goody is
shouldn't.
not going to listen to Jordan Love about keeping Jair Alexander. The only thing here that you should listen to and make sure you follow the important advice, we don't need protein muffins. That is not a New York
Not
City
old,
street
it's
item,
old.
Dave.
Come on,
and Aaron.
Jesse.
The only advice you should heed right now is that you should check out Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and replace your windows with the best in the business.
Yes, indeed. And the draft that's 6 days away. We'll know next week at this time who the G&G have picked. A lot of buzz about the NFL draft up in Green Bay, but you're not going to find any draft seeping through Pella's Windows and Doors. In fact, you should make Pella your #1 pick because right now you take advantage of no-interest financing options, or you can get free glass upgrades. Their talented designers and installers can match your home's unique decor through seamless customizations. Certain restrictions do apply. This deal ends April 30th, so place your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Jordan Love speaking out about Jair Alexander being on this roster. We'll talk about that after
Is
Denise
that right,
says.
Denise and Madison? Is the 8th grade dance a big, big, big deal?
So Denise and Madison texts in on the Carb List Talk and text line 844-770-3776. It's not an 8th grade dance. It's the 8th grade dance. Moving on, dessert dance, 8th grade formal, all part of graduation and heading to high school. Most schools do it. Thank you, Denise. Thank you for your
Times
service.
have changed. Wow.
I'm not going to lie to you, Denise. I appreciate, instead of like Jana just attacking me, I appreciate some context. I don't.
Me.
Max is not in that. He's got the graduation, that big O, and the big controversy from about this time happened. There isn't this there. So thank you for informing me and giving me some context to what's going on. Jason didn't do that either. So I didn't know that this is some big blanking deal. I don't know that.
It's because I was too busy being attacked. But you were the one who was attacked, clearly,
Nobody was
by
attacking
Jana.
you.
There was attack.
Will you stop playing Johnny Victim? Like, come on.
Just make the theme
Don't be
Under the
JV.
Sea and let's go. Like,
Don't
run
be
it back.
JV.
That was another one of
Do
my
what?
ideas that they put into use. I said, don't we need
What?
posters around the school like in Back to the Future
Yeah, for
with the
sure.
signs for the Enchantment Under the Sea
Now-
dance? another useful tidbit that I shared. Now there's going to be posters all around school promoting the dance.
Things have changed so much. I'd imagine they just have a QR code you scan and you get all the info for the
Why
dance
is it
right
Back
there.
to the Future? Is that something with New York City, or what's
no,
the
did you?
what's
Oh
the
my
background
Lord!
on that?
Have you ever seen Back to the Future?
It's been a long time, so I don't.
So
recall
Marty
a ton
goes
of it.
back in time. He goes back to his high school where his parents are students with Doc Brown,
Okay.
and Doc Brown says there's a musical ceremonial ritual being held, and there's a big poster for the Enchantment Under the Sea dance. That's where they kiss for the first time. If they don't kiss, they don't fall in love. If they don't fall in love, they don't get married, and I'm history. You don't nothing. None of this is ringing a bell.
So just wait a second. What does that have to do with New York City, though? Because that's the theme of the party.
Because we need posters like they had for that dance in 1955. In 2025, we need dance posters around the school to promote the dance the way the crew at the high school in 1955 promoted their dance that Marty's parents go to.
It's advertising, Tausch.
Yeah.
But
it's like scan a
what does
QR
it have
code
to
to get
do
your
with New York
bathroom
City?
renovated with Kohler services.
No, it doesn't have
Yeah,
any.
what does it have to do with New York City, though? Because it's a themed party. If it was
It's
a Back
not
to
a-
the Future
we're
party,
not putting
I would
up-
agree.
A Back to the Future poster. We're putting up a City Lights poster with the information for this dance. We're not taking the theme from Back to the Future. We're taking the concept of promotional posters from Back to the Future.
So it has nothing to
I
do
did
with
this.
Back to the
Yes,
Future.
I did this because I said I was critiquing the City Lights theme, which I still think is flawed. And I would have ran back because every school does Under the Sea as a theme at some point in a dance. So you've got all the decorations in storage somewhere. So I said just run it back with Under the Sea and bring that stuff out. That led Jason to talk about the posters, which
Yeah,
led to the
I
confusion on
think
Back to the
obviously
Future.
promoting the dance is a great idea. What I'm trying to understand is Marty McFly in New York City, and that's the part. I just wanted you guys to tie it together, and if you can't, it's no big deal. But now I'm almost getting to be self-conscious that I can't ask questions because I want to learn, but I don't want to get Jan all after me about being critical.
You don't get attacked.
I want to
Stop playing
understand.
Daddy victim.
Well, I'd like to understand, Jason. I'd like to understand.
I'd like you to understand too.
Well, I'm not understanding.
I would just like to apologize to Tasha and Bonnie and Mari. Who else? Valerie. All the moms that are on this committee. You have done a phenomenal job. I missed the in-person meeting on Monday because I was at a track meet with Maddie.
Oh, my God. You weren't even there?
I'll be at the next meeting. Thank you for your service.
This guy sounds like a nightmare. This guy's with a big swooper.
Thank you to everyone who's worked so hard on the committee. Chris, Mr. Heim, everyone's been fantastic. I'm
Sounds
sorry
like
if
nothing
I've
got
been
done
a burden.
before you got on this committee, though. No posters, no food, no music. It sounds like if it wasn't for you, the kids would never have eaten, nothing would have been promoted, and there would have been some schlubby DJ dad that doesn't know what the hell he's doing and would have ruined this music. That is what I learned in the first 20 minutes of the show today.
Would have just been open gym.
More Wilde and Tausch next.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson here for Pepsi, proud partner of the NFL and the NFL Draft. I don't think they're part of Jason's 8th grade dance, but nonetheless, it could be at the 8th grade dance because with the first overall pick, Pepsi is selecting Pepsi Zero Sugar with 0 calories, but all the same great taste of a regular Pepsi. In fact, Pepsi's bringing back the Pepsi Challenge. If you're going to be in Green Bay for the draft, check it out at the NFL Experience and put your taste buds to the test. Try Pepsi Zero Sugar. It's the perfect tailgate mixer, or just have it on its own and enjoy Pepsi and Pepsi Zero Sugar, proud partner of the NFL and the NFL Draft.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde?
Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's #1 pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply and 4/30/2025.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the belt line at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
I'm the most guaranteed person you can take.
The 2025 NFL Draft.
Is he a lockdown corner? Is he an elite receiving entity?
Round 1 begins Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
Dancing on the edge, got to take it too far. Messing with my head, how I'm messing your heart. If you wake up in your bed, alone in the dark, I'm sorry. Gotta leave before you love me. Leave before you love me. Leave before you love me.
While the 8th grade dance planning committee listened to my suggestions, and I am appreciative of it, I don't think Goody's got a whole lot of interest in what Jordan Love's got to say about Jair Alexander, just like he had no interest in what Josh Jacobs had to say about the team's need for a #1 wide receiver. Yesterday on Up and Adams with Kay Adams, Jordan Love, from his vehicle, it appeared, discussed a variety of topics, including
What do they do? How does he put the camera on that? Does he have somebody in the car, or does he put it up on the dash?
Didn't you so my recollection was you were in a car at one point, and you had a little trouble setting up your iPad to do that exact thing.
No, but I was parked, So what happens, and this will be coming up in the near months as there's golf outings and functions we have to get to. I will be doing that, but I'm not driving. I get to my location. I try to set up shop, and then, you guys give me grief about where I put the iPad and whatnot. I think I found a nice corner, like in the windshield, where I kind of pin it.
Sure.
And then you could see me in my Chevy Tahoe. But I ain't driving.
Was he moved? I don't think he was moving.
That's what I'm asking.
I think he was stationary when he was appearing, yeah.
He's a responsible guy.
Okay, but I saw like Kirk Herbstreit on McAfee. He was definitely driving. You could see the car moving. And I'm just wondering, I can't imagine that's safe, right?
No,
I just wanted to make sure that the Green Bay Packers star quarterback,
franchise quarterback,
is being responsible.
I have a similar dilemma for Monday. You will not be on the program. Gabe Neitzel will be in as our cousin sub of the day. But Goody is going to talk at noon at Lambeau Field. But as you may have heard, the NFL Draft is coming to Lambeau Field and the Green Bay Metroplex. And apparently there's nowhere for me to do the show from. I can't get to my office because it's closed off for the players who are using the third locker room. Appreciate the Packers PR staff trying to help me out and figure something out, but the current option is to sit in my car in the parking lot until Goody starts. So we're working through that. But now I know that Jordan Love can do a show from his car in a parking lot, so I could do it too.
Just do it at the Trio and then walk over. It's right there.
That's my next query. I believe our teammate Alex Strofe will be there, or I might just do it from here and leave the show early. That works for a lot of other people on the program as well. So we'll figure something out. But
jump in this committee. Why don't you form a committee and let me swoop in, and I'll give you all kinds of different ideas that'll work.
Yeah, we'll be meeting on Monday. Would you like to swing by?
Perfect. Sounds great.
The swooper.
Big swooper.
I love it when you call me Big Swooper. Jordan Love.
Yeah, that'll be one of the songs that's playing.
By one of the dads for free. Jordan Love spoke with Kay Adams. He was asked about that madman. That's the phrase that Kay used to describe Jair Alexander. And here's how that conversation went.
Defensively, what's going on with Jair? When's the last time you talked to that madman?
That's a great question. I'm not sure. I need to reach out to Ja, see what the deal is. But Ja, he's got his own world going on. I'm gonna let him handle his business and see what's going on. But that's my guy right there. He's definitely a player we need back. Just the play style he plays with and who he is on the field. I mean, that's a guy we need to have around. So we'll see what happens.
That's my guy right there. Don't know when the last time was I talked to him. I'm curious, as we've discussed on this program, Josh Jacobs goes to the Super Bowl and tells everyone with a microphone at Radio Row, Packers need a wide receiver. And I'm quoting Brian Gutekunst now when he was asked about these comments from Josh Jacobs at the Super Bowl. He said, that doesn't really move the needle for me. Does this move the needle for Goody, that his quarterback, as opposed to Josh Jacobs, who's suggesting they need to bring someone from the outside in, the quarterback is saying we need to keep someone who's already on the team. In any way, does that move the needle for Goody?
No.
Agreed.
It doesn't. I don't know what the opposite of moving the needle would be, if it's like shoving a needle into your leg. I don't think there is no needle moved. Goody's going to do what Goody does, and I think the Aaron Rodgers-ness of the last segments, the last 4 or 5 years, I was on board with not accommodating, but listening to and having conversations. I am now, as of the 18th of April, I heard these comments yesterday. Jordan Love is not in that position in his career, A. And B, there is no longer a time where a general manager in the NFL, NBA is going to be different in my mind, is going to take into account what a current player tells them about evaluating talent. There is no longer going to be listen to him, and at least I am all for at least faking having a conversation. And if it's a 50-50 in your mind as a GM, okay, I maybe will have a conversation. But the GMs need the GMs. I am no longer going to be on board with players jumping in and giving – they can give their opinion as public as they want. I love that, especially for our show. But as far as from an evaluation and from a scouting and front office standpoint, it will not move the needle at all for me anymore under any circumstances in the NFL.
Should it move the needle for Goody at all? Is it wrong for him to not give a damn what anybody says? Because this was the Rodgers thing.
Yeah, I want Jordan Love to like and support his teammates. And I think he said what he really means is Ja's got to handle his business. That's what the, I think, overarching thing is. And then I think now players have to be very careful, as Josh Jacobs found out. I think he got called into the principal's office, would be my guess.
I believe he did, indeed.
Jordan Love doesn't want to get called into the principal, but he wants to support his guys that he's played with. Mm-hmm. He's been with Ja for 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've been on the same – so you have a connection. Ja's played good football, so all of that stuff, and that's why you don't take that into account. It's a lesson learned for me as a analyst looking at how this all shakes itself out. Quarterbacks can say, man, that guy's a real pain to go against. I'm more likely as a GM to say, hey, this guy's an unrestricted free agent. How is it your prep, and what did you see when you played against him? More so than a guy that's on my team that I have a relationship with. So I'm going to still work through my process as far as what I think on GMs. But as far as your question, Jason, no. The needle should not be moved at all. It should be, what are you thinking about doing with Jair? What's your plan? You stick to your plan, and let Jordan Love write a Instagram thank you note on his Instagram page for Ja's service to the team, and then we move on with our lives.
So do you believe that should be true for every GM?
Yes.
Like, so when we were having the conversations about Aaron Rodgers and his complaints about not being part of the process, and Joe Thomas came on our show and said he should be the general manager, he should add that to his title. You don't
How'd
think
that work out for us?
Well, they didn't do it, and Goody did exactly what we predicted at the time he would do, which is pretend to listen, threw him the one bone to get him back on the team when he needed him on the team, right? Let's be honest. He needed Aaron Rodgers to be the team's quarterback when he was unhappy.
He needed Randall Cobb. We did not need Randall Cobb.
No, he did not need Randall Cobb. That was his one, okay, if that's what it's going to take to get you back here, we'll reacquire him. But other than that, and so after Rodgers came back, and I remember talking to him in his locker and him talking about, I asked him about Moneyball, and he told the story about the guy that plays Pena, the actor that plays Pena, who gets traded to the Tigers, is a friend of his in L.A., and we were all pretending that Goody was listening to him, including Goody, but Goody wasn't listening to him. He didn't want any, he placated him, but he had no interest in anything he had to say. So it's not like Goody ever changed his philosophy on this. So he's been consistent, to his credit. He kind of played the game a little bit with Rodgers, but he's not listening to Josh Jacobs. He's not listening to Jordan Love. Even if Jordan Love is right, even if they are better off if they still kept Jair Alexander on the team, I don't think it's going to change his mind. That's the bottom line.
No, I don't. And now, do you think, has your mind changed at all on player involvement with GMs?
No, it hasn't. I still think, I believe in collaboration. And I think the Mike McCarthyism of we can disagree but not be disagreeable, I think it's possible to do that. And I do think that if your players feel like their opinion matters and you are very honest about, look, just because you want Jair on the team doesn't mean we're going to keep him, but I will take that into consideration because you're our leader. You're our starting quarterback. Our coach came out and said you need to be more vocal. You're now being vocal about keeping a guy on the team. I'm going to listen to you. But again, this is a little bit like we're going to be in every conversation. Do fans care if Goody says we're going to be in every conversation? Just wait. Do fans care if Goody says he's going to be in every conversation if he doesn't get the player? Do players care to be told that their conversations are going to be meaningful and that they're going to be taken under consideration if ultimately the team doesn't do any of the things that the players suggest, right? I don't know about that. I don't know the answer to that. But I know that if I was Jordan Love, I would appreciate a phone call from Goody on his drive home to his beer fridge after a long day where he says, Jordan, hey, I understand where you're coming from. You know, I'm not completely ruling out the possibility that Jair can come back, but after what we've been through the last couple of years with him, I just don't think it's a good idea. I appreciate you sticking up for one of your teammates. I think that's good leadership, and I heard you, and I'm listening, but that doesn't mean that we're going to bring him back. But it does. I am listening to you, and I appreciate that you would stick up for him and suggest that we need him on the team, because I agree. He's a good player when he's healthy, but I just don't know if we can trust him to be healthy. What would be wrong with that?
These are two totally different conversations, though, Jason. There's the keeping guys informed, your key players, and asking for input. Like, I'm all for keeping guys informed. I don't want to ask for input, though.
So
I'm done with that.
So in the Love draft pick thing, you would wholeheartedly 1,000,000% agree that he owed Aaron Rodgers a phone call, so he didn't find out while doing McAfee's draft show that his replacement.
Yep. Yeah.
So that was wrong of Goody to not tell him.
I mean, I think it would have. I don't know if it would have changed any of the hard feelings, but I think it's a courtesy that was bestowed that Aaron should have probably gotten. Yes.
Okay.
But in the same respect, does that mean if you're drafting, there's not enough veterans on this team right now for me to even. If you're drafting a running back in the second round, do you have to call Josh Jacobs before and say, Josh, hey, this kid fell to us. We love him. We're bringing him in? No, I don't think you do. Now, Aaron, obviously, that's a different animal than where Josh is with the Packers. But that's where I'm curious, does that change our fans' opinions on this? Because that was always a hot-button topic with Rodgers. Should he be involved? Now, with Giannis, I want Giannis involved. Is that hypocritical of me? Probably, but I think basketball is a different sport than football. I don't want input as far as draft picks or current players. If I want input, I will come to you and say, hey, man, we have went against this cat. He's been in our division for 4 years. What do you see that we really like him, and I just want to see how difficult it is for you going against him, if it's a D lineman or if it's a corner. I don't mind those conversations. I don't necessarily think that we should be asking our quarterback if we should keep a defensive back that hasn't played a ton in 2 and 3 years because he's been around him for 5 years. I don't sense that that's where we should be going.
844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. I am curious now because, again, I am collaborative by nature as evidenced by my position on the 8th grade dance committee.
Swoopy. I like it when they call me Big Swoopy.
Do you want a GM to have an open line of communication with his players that they can share their opinions and share their thoughts, and that he actually takes them under advisement? He doesn't have to do everything they say, but do you want them to be part of your big dog players, your Xavier McKinney? You're right. There's not many that you can list on here.
Yeah,
your franchise quarterback who's making $55 million a year.
Hey, Tucker Kraft, we love Ty Warren. You think we should bring him in?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Is Tucker Kraft there? Probably not. But there have been years where they were. Kenny Clark. Is Kenny Clark deserving of being part of those conversations? Is Rashawn Gary? Like, part of the problem, which I will acknowledge, is who gets a voice? Who's got enough gravitas that they deserve to be listened to? Certainly Aaron Rodgers didn't even have enough in Goody's mind. 844-770-3776. If Goody's got to be like Brad Pitt in Moneyball and just not be connected to these guys because he's got to cut them, trade them, get rid of them, whatever. If that's what you believe, I want to hear that. If you want him to take what Jordan Love says on Kay Adams' show and give Jordan a call and say, hey, let me ask you this, Jordan. Why should we keep Jair? What's your argument for that?
I don't see a problem. And he's still on the field.
Yeah.
That's what
I don't have any problem with that phone call.
I got a hunch. I know what Tuesday's article on Channel 3000 is going to be after you ask questions to Goody on Monday. Got a hunch.
Why don't you listen to your players? Well, you should listen to Tausch on this because he's finally followed in my very large footsteps and joined UW Credit Union.
I collaborated with Jason. We had long talks. And yes, I am a UW Credit Union member now. And for every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach your financial goals. Big Spring Showcase, partnered with UW Credit Union. Every student should be. People always ask me, Old T, why'd you join UW Credit Union? Is to keep your banking local? Well, yes, of course. Member first service? Yep. And they have great perks like early payday. And how do you say no to that cute little son of a gun, Bucky? Can't do it. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, and this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member today. Get that Bucky card like I did, federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
How do you say no to that cute son of a gun?
Can't do it.
844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Do you want Goody listening to people on his team? We'll talk about it more next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, a place I've loved going back to the days when I was a kid participating in their legendary Book It program. Man, I loved Pizza Hut back then, and I love creating new Pizza Hut memories with my family now. And right now, Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For just $13.99, you can get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lover's Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips. Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. That's a lot of ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. And remember, no one outpizzas the Hut.
Picks are made every year with the NFL Draft as each team dreams fearlessly. Let's rewind for an American Family Insurance Green Bay Dream Pick.
With head coach Matt LaFleur's first season in the books, Green Bay's championship window was wide open. However, on draft night 2020, they found themselves in a situation similar to 2005 and decided to go bold.
With the 26th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Jordan Love, quarterback, Utah State.
Just like Rodgers after Brett Favre, Love would take over as the starting quarterback in his 4th NFL season, earning himself a huge deal as the face of the franchise following a breakout playoff performance.
Love zips it in there, and it's caught for the touchdown, Romeo Doubs. And the route is on in Dallas. Wow.
This Green Bay Dream Pick is presented by American Family Insurance. American Family Insurance is always a great pick because their agents are there to protect your dreams. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Whether tailgating or hosting at home, don't serve boring, bland food. As the official grill of the Green Bay Packers, Pit Boss brings the heat with a wide range of wood pellet grills, smokers, and hardwood pellet fuel. Reach another level of flavor that can't be achieved with a charcoal or gas grill, and it's beyond easy. Seriously, Pit Boss grills get cooking with just a few simple steps. Grill, smoke, bake, roast, braise, char grill, barbecue, and direct flame sear. The all-in-one Pit Boss does it all. Learn more today at pitboss-grills.com.
At Metro Ford of Madison, you pay what employees pay. Customers pay employee pricing on all in-stock new Ford vehicles. This month, drive away in the 2025 Ford Explorer with financing as low as 5.9% for 72 months, $16.53 cost per thousand borrowed. Or get the 2024 Ford Mach-E with financing as low as 0.9% for 72 months, $14.27 cost per thousand borrowed. Hurry, these offers end April 30th. Head to Metro Ford of Madison or visit metrofordofmadison.com today.
Get a sneak peek at the 2025 Wisconsin football team. Join us April 19th for Wisconsin Football Spring Showcase presented by UW Credit Union. The day kicks off with the Coles Kids Combine, followed by Badgers Open Practice at noon, featuring new faces like quarterback Billy Edwards Jr. and offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes. After practice, head to the field for photos with Badgers student-athletes. Tickets are $5 and free for football season ticket holders, UW students, and kids under 12. Claim your tickets for the Wisconsin Football Spring Showcase at uwbadgers.com.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
We're on the Packers.
You still want to see that steady play, that steady improvement, and you didn't get it from Jordan Love?
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
That just makes the stakes that much higher this season.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day. So let it get away on the road.
844-770-3776. Now, it's interesting that we're having this conversation the day after, and look, I know there's many of you who do not want us to spend time on the previous quarterback. I did watch him on the McAfee show yesterday, and the idea that the team that basically did whatever he wanted, hiring Nathaniel Hackett, bringing in Cobb and Lazard and Tim Boyle, the new coach comes in, they have him fly across the country on his own dime, he pointed out,
yeah.
which not sure I would have gone that way, especially after you said that money doesn't matter to you and you'll play for 10 M's. Flew across the country to be told we're going a different direction. He was pretty irritated about that, it would seem. I understand the irony of saying Jordan Love deserves to at least be heard, in his opinion, by Goody, at the same time as the Jets were a complete blank show by letting Aaron Rodgers dictate what they did. I get that. Again, I'm not saying you give Jordan Love or any player what the Jets did for Rodgers. That's what Rodgers wanted, and it backfired spectacularly. All I'm saying is when you make people feel like they're part of the process, there is a value in that. That's all I'm saying. And I also like the fact that and I think this is an important differentiation in this conversation, Jordan Love is saying, I want a guy that's already on our team to stay on our team. Josh Jacobs said, essentially, we don't have anybody good enough to be a number one wide receiver. We need to go get one. So we can see the difference in that. Those are two player opinions from high-profile players about roster decisions. But one is keeping an existing teammate. Another one gets you called to the principal's office because you basically said the guys you have on your team aren't good enough.
Yeah.
Can we all agree on those differentiations?
We can. And just so we're, when we're asking questions and having people call into the Carbless Talk and text line, you either on Wilde's side where you want player input or – I guess input. I do appreciate the collab, the conversation, but just like even with Rodgers, I said I don't want him breaking down who should be the guard on the Green Bay Packers football team. There are certain wideouts that he wanted or whatnot. He was at that point in his career. I have changed. No longer. NFL is you hire a GM and his staff to bring in the best players you can, and players play. And if you want to inform players of what's going on, great. But not asking them, hey, we're thinking about bringing in Reggie from the Jets. What do you think about Reggie? I'm not interested in that.
Reggie, huh? Not Lenny? Whatever
Reggie
happened to
Jenkins.
Lenny? Lenny doesn't get any run at all anymore. Let's take a quick call, and then we'll get to more if we have them. 844-770-3776. Like Tausch said, what team are you on here? Do you want collaboration with your players, not final decision or not overbearing influence, but collaboration? Or do you want them to essentially shut up and play, and I'll make the decisions from the personnel side? Start with Ron in Oak Creek. Ron, good morning. Thanks for holding on, buddy. What do you got?
Good morning, guys. Appreciate you taking the call. You guys got a wonderful show. We have many to choose from, and I choose Wilde and Tausch. Great show.
Yes.
I want input because if you value the people that work for you, you value their input. But I don't want decision making, and I don't think it would have mattered if we had told Mr. Rodgers that we were going to draft a quarterback or not. But I do want his input because I do value what he says, and I feel sorry for what he's gone through lately. But it's a new day. They get to go on these TV shows. They get to have podcasts. We're going to get their input whether we want it or not. It's just a new day. But, no, they don't need to make the decision. We take the input. We kind of listen to it. We roll it around in our minds, and we move on. But bosses are bosses. Players are players. Input is nice, but you don't make the call.
Ron, I'm just going to tell you this, and even had you not said all those nice things at the outset about our show, that was a great freaking call. That was so good, and I'm not just saying that. It honestly was.
So, question though, before
you for your input.
Before we move on, quick
I
question
just wanted to
for
get
you.
my thank you for your input line in.
Yeah, it was a great call. Has the Aaron Rodgers saga, the way it played out, changed your mind at all about that thought process on input from players?
Are you asking me that, or are you asking our fans that? Both?
I'm asking Ron that.
I don't think the part with Rodgers didn't change my mind. He's a different cat. And so it wouldn't have mattered. I do want input. I do want people to think, because I've been an administrator and a boss for over 30 years, and you got to at least get their opinions and let the people think you care. But he's taking it to the nth degree. Some people you just can't satisfy, no matter what input you give them. You're never going to make them happy. I just pray for him and hope he does well. But I'm still an Aaron Rodgers fan. I just feel bad for him. I really do.
What a great addendum to an already great call. Do you have anything
Rack
else you'd like to ask Ron before we let him
Hey,
go?
rack him.
Buck's going to win tomorrow, Ron.
No, I used to always before, hey, Jason, I appreciate the journalism in you. I appreciate the fact of the reporter in you, not the fan in you, and you stay to it. So, no, you guys do good work. I don't call often, but when I do, I just want to add it because I just think you guys do a great job. Have a
All right,
good
Ron,
day, great weekend.
Tausch is out on Monday. We'll schedule you for a cousin sub shift. We appreciate you a ton. Thank you.
I'll say this.
That was a
more
great
Ron
call.
input I'm on board with.
Yeah.
I'm on board with more Ron input.
I love that, but here's the thing, and he made a great point also. I don't call in often. So if Ron was calling every single day and giving his opinion, as much as we loved Ron's call, you would if you were a boss, you'd be like, okay, I don't need opinions on what toilet paper to use in the bathroom. I don't want your opinion on everything. But what Ron does with our show is what players should probably do also if they have this conduit, right? Pick your spots, right? Isn't that another lesson to be taken from his call? I would argue that it is.
Yeah, I
so,
would too.
844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. We'll get to more of your calls and texts coming up after Tausch tells us about Coors Light, which is always Cool, refreshing, and good advice.
It is Coors Light brewed the 3-step cold process, cold lagered, cold filtered, and it is cold packaged, so it is made to chill and make sure those mountains are blue. That's when you know Coors Light's cold activated bottles and cans are chilled to perfection. That's why it is Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Summer, sponsored by Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
More of your thoughts next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Brewers baseball is back.
Bunting it up the first baseline. It's a good bunt. Racing home is done. He will score. Bryce Terrain gets the job done.
Hear the sound of summer right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. Well, if you think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin, upload a photo to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. Yes, you heard me correctly. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including a design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Lugstone shower. goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for your chance to win.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. A new landscape. Luke Fickell on Wilde and Tausch as spring ball concludes. The Badger head coach addressing constant changes in college football. His take on the challenge younger players face today.
This league has changed, and I think that means as a younger guy in a program, you don't have nearly as much time. You got to become a pro. You got to grow up. You got to mature really fast if you want to play. And if you don't, you got to look for some of these guys that have a lot more maturity walking in the door, because that's what you're going to play against every single week.
Playback Luke Fickell's appearance on Wilde and Tausch on the brand new ESPN Wisconsin app.
Everyone is talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Celebrate Cinco de Mayo at the Bridges. On Saturday, May 3rd, play in a 2- or 4-person scramble for $120 per person. Includes 18 holes with a cart, prizes, and a Mexican feast. Find more details at golfthebridges.com today.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Sarah, how are you going to do a raised vegetable garden on this tiny condo balcony?
Grab that Craftsman drill and let's hang that trellis on the ceiling.
We've got the value you need to do things your way. Like all pairs of Skechers, buy one, get one half price. And Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, now with 25% more coverage per bag, just $59.99 after $10 rebate.
Upside down tomatoes, here we come.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill, because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Lots of strong opinions in the YouTube comments. Boy, if you don't monitor those, you don't know what you're missing. What about on the Carbless Talkin' text line, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776.
Dan in Alloway brings this one up on the text line. Why does it have to be Goody that a player shares their input with? Let's say Josh Jacobs talks to the West Coast scout and says, hey, I know Ashton Genty, and if he's sitting there at 23, you should strongly consider drafting him, sharpen up your report so Goody knows maybe there's a best player available. But seriously consider picking up another running back, and this is the guy that will compliment me. Josh Jacobs says that to the scout, who can then share it to Goody, play the game a little bit. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I don't see players talking to scouts first. Like that just again, that's not how it works. Secondly, this is why this is such a, dare I say, nuanced conversation. Like the idea of discussing specific players, like I'm not saying Josh Jacobs knows a hell of a lot more football than I do. Okay? I'm not saying he and I are on the same plane. But compared to a scout who has scouted Ashton Genty, who has been to Boise State's campus, who has been to practices and games and filed his report, Josh Jacobs doesn't know anything more than what he's seen on television, right? He's not going through that process. They have a process for a reason. That's how scouting works. Now, are they wrong sometimes? Yeah, right? I mean, if you were right, you would draft Tom Brady in the first round. Like, was it Bill Tobin that said? Who said that? Somebody said that they would have drafted him in the first round. I just think that when we're talking about collaboration, and maybe it's phony, maybe I have to acknowledge that. The idea of having people's opinions be welcomed, even if you're not going to follow them, creates an environment where you feel like they're invested and they care about what you think. Ultimately, you don't always have to do what they say, but maybe they do have insight that is useful. I'm not sure that example fits what I'm referring to, though.
So, yeah, I don't have any problem if Goody goes and asks a player, from Wisconsin that's on his roster that played with Hunter Wohler or played – that's scouting. That's different. I just don't want the, hey, you need to bring this guy in. That I don't want. Or we need this guy. It's more of if – that's the tricky line that you toe here is when you ask questions and you have that information kind of gathering, how far does that go? That really is where it's at. And when it's just about informing and having conversations and not the illusion of input, that's a tricky line that you have to go down. And watching how the last 5 years have went, both with watching the Randall Cobb saga and some of the other things play out, you need to have your decision makers make decisions because they're ultimately responsible for that. And if you don't believe me, ask Joe Douglas because he's open for work right now.
Charles in Brookfield on the text line, Carble's talking text line, listens more, says, I've noticed, especially in the NBA, when the players call the shots, it usually never works out.
Yeah.
A great example would be the Nets team with Harden and Irving and Durant wanted to run the show. It got them nowhere. The teams that are winning championships are the teams that let the coach call the shots and the GM make the decisions, examples being Boston and Denver. Denver just got rid of both of them. Yeah.
Denver, everybody got fired. So,
but you were agreeing up until the very last word of the text.
So, yeah, I guess, no, my point is, there is no doubt, and you look at what Phoenix is going through, that's a complete debacle. That might be more a Kevin Durant situation. And LeBron James, kudos to him, it's been a hell of a GM. LeBron James has been one of the best GMs you're ever going to find. So there are some guys that it's worked for.
He got
NBA
Luka
is different.
Doncic for next to nothing.
NBA is different than the NFL. NBA, if John Horst wants to listen and adhere to what Giannis is saying, I want Giannis here as long as possible. And the Bucks are a relevant franchise as long as Giannis is here. When and if that day comes that he's traded, what do I want Giannis to determine, hey, I think you should get 5 first-round picks? No, then John Horst got to go do what he needs to go do. And when you're in that position, NBA is different than the NFL. Great examples by Charles there. Great examples. NFL, just a different animal. I am now, collaborate all you want, but I am going to, if I am Brian Gutekunst, I'm doing what I think is best for this. He doesn't even take collaboration from Matt LaFleur. Why the hell is he going to take collaboration from a second-year starting quarterback?
He definitely listens to his staff. Again, yes. I don't know. I don't. There's a difference of opinion in the YouTube comments on who else Goody might listen to. Look, the people I talk to indicate that there is not that level of collaboration outside the scouting staff, which, again, that's how he wants to run the team. I'm not criticizing that. We're just having a conversation about whether or not when players want to be part of the conversation, if that's okay or not. And what you're saying about Giannis, I don't know what kind of GM Giannis would be. It would appear that when he's been involved in the hiring process, it's kind of hit or miss.
Thanasis would be on the team. What's his other brother's name?
Daryl? I don't know.
Costas.
Costas, yes.
Costas?
Costas.
So there'd be 3. That's 3 roster spots I feel very certain will be there if Giannis is the GM. And my guess is Chris Middleton would still be on the team. That's why even with NBA guys, it's a little bit different, but the end result, collaboration, yes. Input, no. So can you actually collaborate without having any input?
Definitely not.
Collaboration, does that mean input, or does that mean listening, give your thoughts, and then, hey,
and have it
you wipe your hands and you move on with your life?
And if it influences you, great. Yeah, I don't know. What I do know is that when it comes to being
I don't know. Great drop.
It's 10:09, bro.
Dude, can I not laugh? Am I not allowed to laugh now? I thought it was really funny. And you know what's not? Well, life is busy.
You know what's
Jason.
funny?
I know
is Tausch standing in front of all the hot food at Quick Trip in a chicken costume.
That is funny.
Now that's funny.
It is funny. It's like a clown. Quick Trip gets it whether you're craving that fresh coffee, tasty bakery treat, quick grab-and-go meal, or a snack. Quick Trip is your go-to. They have those great apps. Believe that's in my little app this month. You get back to the $2.99 apps. That's a beautiful thing. I'm a Mozzie stick guy. You got the mini tacos. You got everything that you're looking for. And ice cream, Nature's Touch ice cream. You get a gallon. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip. There's nothing like it bad. You can get everything there. And right now it's only $4.99 for that gallon. You can also get Nature's Touch milk for $2.99. Put it on some of that cereal that you love. Breakfast sausage links, $2.49. Big old bag of soup, rainy, crummy day out. Get that bag of soup on Tuesday and get it for $6.99. Head on over, fuel your day with quality taste. Download the Quick Rewards app. Take advantage of everything that Quick Trip has to offer. Rewards on every visit, plus you can order ahead for pickup or curbside delivery. Quick Trip. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you in the 10 o'clock hour. It starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, where Cheesy Bites Pizza is back right now. For just $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lover's Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. Only at Pizza Hut. No one outpizzas the Hut.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. Less than 1 week to go until the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay. Round 1, Thursday night next week. We'll have wall-to-wall coverage right here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Get caught up on everything you need to get set for the draft. Yesterday, ESPN NFL front office insider Mike Tannenbaum joined Wilde and Tausch. Earlier this week, ESPN NFL draft expert Matt Miller joined Jim, Matt, and Molly. Mel Kiper Jr. last week on Wilde and Tausch. All the great conversations available on the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app. Download it today. Baseball, the Brewers host the Athletics tonight at American Family Field. First pitch set for 7:10 for the three-game weekend series. The Brewers actually haven't defeated the Athletics at American Family Field since 2016. Athletics swept the Brewers in their last visit 2 years ago. 7:10 first pitch tonight. Listen to it right here on Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. And the Bucks start the playoffs tomorrow at noon, visiting the Pacers.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. Are we really going here?
Where are you going?
Oh, you know where
I
we're
haven't
going.
looked, so. No.
Jesse?
Should you make a wager on the Bucks winning the NBA championship? Is that where you were going?
No, we're going to do that later.
Okay. So I don't know.
Homer's coming up at 10:30. We got double trivia coming up next.
Where do you want to go in the meantime, Blurry Jesse?
Oh.
I think I will make the decision so that I can take the flack from the YouTube dwellers and anyone else who's upset about it for a couple of minutes. Aaron Rodgers said some significant things yesterday on the Pat McAfee show, and I think it's important for our show to address what he said.
Okay.
Again, my issue with this is I don't want people turning off the show.
Well, it's a couple of minutes. It's significant, relevant news.
You've got 3 minutes. Ready? Go.
Aaron Rodgers appeared yesterday on the Pat McAfee show. He recounted the last 3 months of free agency, including his visit with the Jets and new head coach Aaron Glenn. Here's Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show recounting that experience.
And this is verbatim exactly how it happened. So I said, huh? And he goes, we just want to know how you want it released, the messaging. And I said, verbatim, I don't give a shit about the message. And I said, why? And then he said, I don't want to be up in front of the room saying something and have guys looking back at you.
Interesting.
And I said, what does that even mean? Are you assuming that I would be in the back of the room during a team meeting undermining what you're saying? I said, you don't know me. And he said, you don't know me. And then I said, exactly, which is why I flew across the country to have a face-to-face meeting with you to talk about my experience with the Jets and to hear your vision for the team. 20 seconds in.
Wow, guys, that was pretty interesting stuff from Aaron Rodgers yesterday on the Pat McAfee show, recounting that experience. Doesn't it make you thankful that we don't have to deal with this drama as Packers fans anymore, Tausch?
Listen, man, I know that Packer fans are irritated and kind of done with it, but it is intriguing. And from an NFL standpoint, I'm still intrigued. So, yeah, I get it. I understand it. And from a Packer fan standpoint, yeah, from a media standpoint, it's kind of fun. So this whole deal, to get an insight on that, it lets you know, I think, from Aaron Rodgers' standpoint, I don't think there is ever in a million years he believed that he was going to be treated like every other player. That's how players, when you get released, it's a thank you for your service. You don't even get asked, how do you want to message it? Like this was probably, welcome to the NFL at the end of your career. Now, Rodgers still is going to have options where a lot of players don't. But that moment that he had, now take away the flying on your private jet over and covering it yourself and having your pilots and renting a Malibu and doing all that stuff's all different. He is a big star, no doubt. But the way the NFL kind of said, deuces B, hey, welcome to the 98% club, bro. That's what happens in the NFL.
Do you what did you think, though, as he went over that conversation verbatim, that Aaron Glenn perception, whether it's accurate or not, is that his quarterback, if he were to bring him back, would be undermining him by saying something different than what the coach says at the front of the room? That, whether or not it's fair, the reality is though that perception has been created, whether it's with his time with McCarthy or his time with LaFleur or his time with Robert Saleh. That is the perception of him. And the fact that that perception is out there is not great. That is that is a bad deal. And I say this honestly, I don't blame Aaron Glenn for thinking that. The issue that I would have is you obviously have your mind made up. Why waste this time? Other than, did you want to humiliate him? And then my other question is, why tell this story if you're Rodgers? Because no one would have ever known that they did this to you had you not chosen to share it, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's where that's the part I don't know. I think if I'm Aaron Glenn, I don't mind having Aaron come in. I think you could have handled things probably I think we're going to go in a different direction. We appreciate your talent. We want you to go through your process. We need to move forward. We're a new operation. We're going to start fresh with a new quarterback. Thank you. Deuces B. That could have been the way to handle it. I don't know why you would choose to do it in a different way. That might just be a new coach trying to figure things out. I mean, to get up and run, to get your GM, and then to have that all play out.
It was quite a story.
Some fans are going to love it. Some fans are going to love it. Some fans aren't. Bottom line is, it is not a great look for either side, in my opinion.
Agreed.
And it could have been handled in a much better way, but things get ugly. There's never a good way to tell somebody that you're not going to be playing for them anymore. There's always going to be a little sting, but you could put a little Bactine on it, and this decided you'd rather just put gas on it.
Ooh,
that's fine.
Bactine.
That's the route you wanted to go. That's where they went.
That's a good reference. Yeah, no, I know. It's a great reference. All right, let's play some trivia. Jesse, you wanted to do double trivia today. Why? What's the category? And what callers, plural, do you want?
The why is because we had a loaded show yesterday with Mike Tannenbaum and Luke Fickell both joining us. Wanted to make sure we had enough ample time to get into those conversations and discuss. And I know everybody likes double trivia, so I wanted to do double trivia today. And it's our way of celebrating that the Bucs begin their playoff run Saturday at noon on 620 WTMJ, 100.5 ESPN Madison, and on ESPN. Bucs Pacers game 1 noon Saturday. So double Bucs trivia, which means there's 6 Bucs questions. Bucs in 6. Today's double trivia category.
Really well done, Jesse.
So you want caller 6 and caller 66?
6 and 12 might make a little more sense and be a little more timely. 6 and 12 would do.
6 and 12. Caller 6 and caller 12. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. We'll play trivia next. Want to remind you that the Steinhaffel's Best Brands, Best Prices sale ends on Monday. And now's the time. You take 10% off all in-stock and special order furniture, dining, bedroom, sofas, and so much more. And with Steinhaffel's special 60-month financing, your dream room is now even more affordable. So don't miss your chance to refresh your home with the brands you love. Steinhaffel's is closed on Sunday for Easter, but always open online at steinhaffels.com. Trivia's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. Ben Bruss here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owns. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Outdoor Living Unlimited's showroom on Stoughton Road is absolutely a must-see. Nobody builds a better backyard better than Outdoor Living Unlimited. New deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, fire pit, and in-ground pool. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's leader in building the new deck. Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech decking installer. Looking for a backyard hardscape design? Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited's amazing Madison showroom. Visit our open house on Saturday, April 19th from 9 to 1 p.m. and meet the team. Or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. A customizable homepage, easier and quicker live listening. Your shows at the touch of a fingertip.
Unless there's a big boy trade coming that I don't see, Green Bay is going to run this thing back, and you hope that these other guys will emerge.
Available in Apple and Android app stores. Your one-stop shop for ESPN Wisconsin. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Download it today.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker, it's a 3. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop stab, that's his favorite. And the 2.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison. Picks are made every year with the NFL Draft as each team dreams fearlessly. Let's rewind for an American Family Insurance Green Bay Dream Pick.
April 2005. Green Bay's gunslinger Brett Favre continues to perform, but the threat of retirement has general manager Ted Thompson thinking about the future. That's when Green Bay made their dream pick.
With the 24th selection in the 2005 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Aaron Rodgers, quarterback of California.
Once taking over as the starter, Rodgers' career would blossom. 147 wins, 475 touchdown passes, 4 MVPs, and 1 championship. Aaron Rodgers is on his way to a gold jacket.
Over the middle, caught, touchdown. The Lombardi Trophy is coming home.
This Green Bay Dream Pick is presented by American Family Insurance. American Family Insurance is always a great pick because their agents are there to protect your dreams. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
We're on the Packers.
If they're not better this year,
because we're on Wisconsin Sports,
there's going to be a lot of seats warming up.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
play some trivia. Let's welcome in our contestants. Caller 6, Dave in Verona. Dave, good morning, buddy. How are you?
I'm well, Jason. Thanks.
And caller 12, Brian in Williams Bay. Brian, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How about you? Welcome, Dave.
Well, wow. Even collaboration between the contestants. Gotta love it. All right.
Should we let them ask for input on each other's questions? Is that allowed under the rules tab?
We should not.
It's not?
That would be frowned upon.
Oh, it's like GMs and players.
That would be a competitive advantage for either
Jesse
contestant.
Gutekunst. All right, let's start with Dave in Verona. Question 1, Dave, is this no collaboration required or allowed? Which of these players did the Milwaukee Bucks acquire earlier this season as part of a trade sending Chris Middleton to the Washington Wizards? Is it Kyle Kuzma, Taurean Prince, or Ryan the Wiz Rollins?
I'll go with A.
Is that Ryan Rollins' nickname? Is he called the Wiz?
He is not. No.
Oh, okay. I thought
Who's Ryan Rollins?
NBA insider Mark Tauscher.
No, who's Ryan Rollins?
He's a player on the Milwaukee Bucks. Played a significant amount of minutes this year.
Did he?
Since Tausch couldn't remember Ryan Rollins the other day, let's help him out. Which of these teams is the number one seed in the NBA's Eastern Conference playoffs this year? Is it the Cavaliers, the Celtics, or whoever is it should be able to pick their opponent for round two?
Celtics.
No, you and Tausch are on the same page.
Yeah. I agree. They should be the one seed, but they're not.
All right. Question 2, Dave, is this. Which of these teams is the only opponent the Bucks have defeated in a playoff series since winning the NBA Finals in 2021? The Orlando Magic, the Miami Heat, or the Chicago Bulls?
The Miami Heat.
Collaboratively, we are all a very knowledgeable group about the National Basketball Association. The Chicago Bulls, the only team the Bucks have beaten in a playoff series. Tausch, your question 2 to Brian.
The Bucks won 8 straight to close out the regular season. Which of these Eastern Conference playoff teams is the last opponent to beat the Bucks? Is it New York, Atlanta, or Cleveland?
New York.
I'm just out of curiosity. Is it asking too much for you to read the city and the team name? The first one, you dropped the team name, you dropped the city, it just went Celtics, Cavaliers. Now you dropped the team names, it just went the cities. Is this too much to read those extra words?
New York, Atlanta, or Cleveland? And he said New York. The answer is Atlanta. Atlanta was the correct answer.
Question 3, Dave.
A little critiquey there, Jason.
Well, I mean, you wrote him the way you wrote him. He's changing phrases. He's just, he never does trivia.
It's irritating when he does that, and then he messes it up, and then he tries to blame me for messing it up.
This is what I'm saying. Just read the card.
The big ad-libber.
All right, question 3, Dave. Just as it's written by Justin.
I hope Jana is listening, and she's going to come back at you about being overly critical. We'll find out.
I don't think that's overly critical. Giannis is the Bucks' leading rebounder this season, averaging just shy of 12 per game. Which player ranks second on the Bucks roster, averaging 8.4 rebounds per game this season? Is it Portis, Lopez, or Kuzma?
I fear this is a not-so-good Friday trivia, but
I tend to agree.
I'm going to go with A.
Nailed it.
Bobby Portis is correct.
Bobby.
All right, Tausch. The floor is yours for question 3 for Brian.
Okay, question 3, which player started the most games for the Milwaukee Bucks in the 2024-25 regular season ? Is it Taurean Prince, Andre Jackson Jr., or Brooke Lopez?
Brooks Lopez.
Look what happens when you ask it as it's written.
I guess you're right.
The rare...
It's on me, fellas. I needed to read it every last little syllable I needed to read. So
the ever rare wrong first 2, correct on the last one. That doesn't happen very often.
Trivia
on our
albatross.
program.
Yeah.
It is indeed. All right. Dave, you got 2 out of 3. You got 3 of the possible 4 entries into our drawing coming up a little bit later in the show. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
And Brian, you did get 1. That means you do have 2 entries into the drawing. We look forward to the drawing a little bit later, and we'll see if you come out a winner. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Everybody's so friendly today. I love it. Friendly. Nice. Perhaps a little bit critiquey from time to time, but we're happy that he got that one right. All right, we need to get to Homer.
Do you not find that ironic that you were getting all after me about being critiquey, and then you couldn't have been more snobbish and critiquey to me reading questions? Is that not ironic to you?
If you're drawing...
And by the way, I went back and listened to the tape yesterday because Jesse, for whatever reason, won't check you. You are checkmated. Now, Tony the Tiger checkmated, and for whatever reason, you won't apologize. What?
There's a sharpness to your tone. You seem irritated now.
Because it was frustrating yesterday when you would admit that you said nobody was great. I went back and watched the tape, and it's exactly what happened, and yet Jesse doesn't check the tape on that.
So
but he'll
are
certainly
you
check
irritated
me
with
my
or
Final
with
Four.
him? Or both?
I'm more irritated with Jesse than you.
Yeah, that sounds like a win for me. All right, we need to get to Homer. We're not airing any more grievances.
The Final Four thing you predicted last year, like 3 days apart from when you did it this year, and the team crashed and burned the rest of the way both times.
They didn't crash and burn this year. Get out of here with crash and burn. Get out. They got to the Big Ten championship. Well, they crashed.
They did that last year
they got
too.
Beat up, they got beat by a road team. They were a road game as a 3 seed in the final 32 or whatever you want to call it. Ain't no crash and burn. Get out of here. Crash and burn. Last year was crash and burn. This year was not. FYI.
If only they'd have gone through Milwaukee. Which he didn't really say, but then he added it later on.
That did get left out of the context of the equation, no question.
By you when you originally made the prediction. Be that as it may, I predict that Steve the Homer Drew will be on the show next if we get a hold of him. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here, and with another Milwaukee basketball playoff run starting this weekend, I'm really hoping to be feeling good for the next several weeks, just like I'm always feeling good on Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Home and Lindsay Paints. And don't miss some of the best Feel Good stories of the week coming up to close out today's show and send you off into the weekend right. And speaking of starting something right, when you're ready to get started on your spring paint project at home, do what my family did and trust the pro painters at Home and Lindsay Paints. Home and Lindsay is the one paint that can withstand the challenges of Wisconsin's weather year-round. Get connected with the pro painter best for what your project calls for by stopping into any Madison area Home and Lindsay location and simply asking a member of the team. Hallman Lindsay, great paint, great people, and check them out at hallmanlindsay.com. And stick around for Feel Good Friday coming up to close out today's show, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
This Saturday at 9 a.m., join Hunter Vaughn and the Dean, Dennis Semrau, as they head to the track and look at the top athletes from around the area. Plus, they're joined by the head track and field coach of Sun Prairie East, Doug Moan, as well as future Badger and defending 400-meter champion Nicole Repka of Verona. Again, join Hunter Vaughn and the Dean this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? Discover TPC Wisconsin, an instant classic in the heart of the Midwest. With a course co-designed by Steve Stricker and PGA Tour Designs, it's the 13th and newest TPC Network golf club in the world. Other high-quality amenities include a short game practice area, athletic performance center, and meeting and dining facilities. Plus, membership benefits that reach around the globe. Schedule a tour at tpcwisconsin.com and start your journey to a lifetime of priceless golf.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde? Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's #1 pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in Sport 30/2025.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hey, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network, and I've got a question for you. Is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with the leading manufacturers, including Pella, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, and LP SmartSide Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of 5-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for home improvement needs. Plus, consultations and estimates are always free, so there's no reason to wait. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com to schedule your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Ridgetop Exteriors is the place for you.
Waiting to see a general surgeon? With Stoughton Health, it's always easy access, with most appointments within a week. And with over 160 insurances accepted, you're covered and in good hands. For more information, visit stoughtonhealth.com. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
We're on the Packers.
You still want to see that steady play, that steady improvement, and you didn't get it from Jordan Love?
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
That just makes the stakes that much higher this season.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. You're making love or starting the schoolyard fight. Make sure you do it right.
You know what that music means. Normally he joins us on Wednesdays, usually late because we have Brian Bulaga on. Today he joins us on Friday. He was traveling earlier in the week, but he's back home safe and sound today. And now he's on Wilde and Tausch. You hear him on the Homer Hour every weekday for 1 hour, the best 60 minutes of your day on ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Beaver Dam. You also hear him as the voice of Marquette men's basketball, and you can check him out on YouTube, God Talk with Homer and Pip. My faith, it is Steve the Homer True. Homer, good morning. How are you?
I'm pretty good, but I'm saddened again by the fact that you don't talk to Aaron Rodgers and Hunter does, because
I texted him yesterday. We corresponded. he's chosen the path that he chose to be on programs. That's fine. He's entitled to do that. I'm not.
Well, I know, but
I'm over that now.
We all lose because anybody, yourself, when he says, well, why would I have flown all this way? Oh, we could have done it over the phone. Oh, you don't own a phone? Before you fly all the way over, you don't call and say, do I need to come in or can we do this over the phone? What, nobody asked him that? Oh, it's all just on the Jets, coach, for not doing something over the phone? How do you get away with that crap?
In fairness, had I been conducting the interview, I would have said, well, I thought you don't get cell service at your home, so maybe Aaron Glenn did try calling you and he couldn't connect. That's the route I would have gone there.
Aaron Glenn did what he did because he wants everybody to know Aaron Rodgers ain't running the show. That's all that was.
I'm in charge here.
Yes, and this was a way to do that. But the whole thing could have been avoided if Rodgers just calls and says, hey, I'm thinking of coming in. Is it worth coming in, or can this be handled over the phone? That's like junior high stuff. But, of course, Aaron Rodgers couldn't do that because he's got him. I don't know why. All I know is you can't complain the other guy could have called you when you didn't even call them. So now we can move on.
Did anything else that he said move the needle for you that you would like to touch on? Because I as you perhaps know, I try to limit our conversations about him because I don't want people turning off the show.
The only reason he's been able to wait this long is because the Steelers are willing to wait. Players would love to never have to make a decision and be open till the very, very end because a lot of things could change. The Steelers have clearly said, work on it however you want to work on it, or the date hasn't come up yet. But the reason this is different, as Tausch, I'm sure you tell, every player would beg to be the person in charge. You're not, because it's a business and they're the team and they run things. In this case, they seem to be willing to let Rodgers take forever. That has nothing to do with Rodgers. It has totally to do with the team, and that's fine. That's the only reason it's gone as long as it has.
Okay.
Next.
So, next. What do you make? And we had this discussion
only because the Packers play Pittsburgh. If he was not discussing with Pittsburgh, it would all be of absolutely no interest to me. But he could play against the Packers.
Okay, yeah, I don't believe that, but I'm not going to go into
that. That's correct. Yeah.
Well,
every show you have to at least question that what I say isn't true.
No, I don't. Not every show. Don't you be doing that. All right, so Homer, Jordan Love yesterday said bring Jair back. Where do you stand now on players kind of having input with their teams? I have changed my tune. No more. You can talk. You can put your opinion in, but I am going to do what I want to do. Where do you stand on that?
Well, you're 100% right, but everybody knows. I don't know if you ever did it. If you really want something done, you do it in private. If Jordan Love feels like that, he in private says something so that no one knows about it. Because the last thing you need is people knowing about it, because then you're acting like the general manager, and now you're forcing the GM to prove, well, I mean, you know this. First of all, they don't think he doesn't believe, most GMs don't believe players know anything about anything as far as talent. So they don't listen to anyone. If they do, it's just like, as you alluded to, both of you with Rodgers. But anything done, and he knows that. He just wanted to say something nice about his friend. That's all. Just what you said. Throw him a bone.
Yep.
And he certainly handled it better than Jacobs did. I mean, the first thing anyone says when they go public is, first of all, that's not my job. We have a GM. That's how you lead everything. And then you can make whatever opinion you want because, as you alluded to, no one ever listens. And they shouldn't. Other than, as you both said, in certain situations with players you maybe played against, I was going to say with a quarterback it could be a wide receiver, but if they haven't played with them, they don't really know Jack. So, anything else?
Yeah. So, is Giannis an exception to that position of yours?
Yes.
Good question.
Oh yeah.
Good
well, no,
question.
the NBA is totally different. The players run the show in the NBA.
Should they?
No, they should not.
Okay.
But they do.
But they do, yes.
They do. Yeah.
All
right, so Homer, if Giannis comes,
let's look at the Bucks. Let's look at the Bucks.
All right, let's look at the Bucks.
Is it in the Bucks' best interest to do whatever Giannis wants? Yes. Until he's 38 or something. I don't know. Because you're going to have a representative team, and assuming you have good people in, and you don't totally screw it up, then you're going to always have pretty good teams. Just like now, they did a nice job. The players they added this year as an example.
So even if they're
like
heavy
Ryan
underdogs to win a championship and are going to be a 5, 6, 7, 8 seed for the next 5 years, you're going to still continue to do whatever Giannis wants you to do?
Yeah, I am. I think in terms of we've won a title, and in terms of his image and the organization, and at some point it changes, as you've alluded to in all sports, when he's not that good or as good. So my guess is that would probably go 3 more years, and then you would move on. But the reality is he'll want to move on before then, in all likelihood. So I think they need to hire Mike Malone as their head coach, get Doc to step down, and then make Malone the head coach. That's the first thing they need to do.
And then bring Jokic over.
No, you're going to get no players. You're just getting the best coaches out there.
Okay.
You're not. Come on. I mean, I would hire you as coach if it brought him.
Homer.
Yes.
Homer.
Tausch, you're the new
The
head
Lakers
coach
thought the same thing with Doncic.
I can't believe it took that long for you to say that.
Yes. Well, no, you could ask.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It never hurts to ask.
Okay, fine. You ask, and they'll say what my father said to me. I appreciate your interest. So.
Oh, your father sounds a lot like Goody.
Yes, totally. Yes. Yep. You nailed it.
Except I'm guessing Goody goes to more of his kids' sporting events. Speaking with Steve the Homer,
I think
true.
That's
You
a
can hear.
problem in our country. I just want to let you know. Parents going
not a
away from
problem.
any of their kids' sporting events. It's a problem.
Why?
Kids are playing sports for reasons other than playing sports. Their parents are involved.
Ooh.
That makes them think differently. That makes them act differently. I don't want my kids' sports interests or other interests to have too much influence based on the parents. And how do you find that out? By not going and seeing how they react and seeing if they like to talk about it and tell you what happened more than you being there. Parents, it should be against the law for parents to attend every sporting event in a certain season because it's not that important. And it takes away from the knowledge learned of how they act when you're there, how they act when you're not there. Most parents don't want to know because they want to go. It ain't about you. It's about the kid. Next.
Wow, that's it.
Yeah,
I feel like
I'm
you're
strong
talking
on
to
that.
somebody right now.
No, I'm not talking to anybody.
I'm going to take a hiatus here. I'm going to let you two hash this out.
No, I'm talking to every parent, not anyone.
No, I know,
in
but
particular.
I know there's one person that probably is going to take
Jason
offense
is
to this. So
no, Jason is a spectacular parent. You're a spectacular parent, but that doesn't change. This is way bigger than both of you. This is a problem.
What about eighth grade
literally,
dances?
when he was talking, I thought Jason Wilde to a T. That's what I thought.
Yeah, look,
No.
Jason,
You're as bad as he is.
Jason.
No, I'm definitely not. I wish I could make more stuff.
You got a different. You're different, but
all right. Okay. Jason.
What if the parent goes to the eighth grade dance, but the kid doesn't?
That I would say there's a problem, but not if you're on the committee.
Wait a minute,
so,
not
Jason.
necessarily. If the parent is assisting the class, they need parents to be there.
Not if your kid's not there. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Jason.
This is taking a turn. All right, couple things. First of all,
I never got invited to those. I think an eighth grade dance is absurd, but so be it. I'm like, you graduated from eighth grade? Hey,
I kind of agree. I think the graduation's a bit crazy.
When you breathe.
Yeah.
When you breathe.
No, I kind of agree on a lot of fronts on that, but that's
means nothing. Means less than that.
I kind of
Means
agree
more
on
than
a lot of that,
graduating
but Jason.
All right. First of all,
Hey, if you want to have a party with your kids' friends, as my parents did for me in 8th grade, that's fine. The school having anything of any significance is nuts. It is no accomplishment to graduate from 8th grade. 0.
Jason? Jason?
I don't know
It
where to
is
begin.
worse than everybody getting a trophy at an athletic event. Worse. It's like getting an award for breathing. Okay, come on up. You were breathing good today. Here's your trophy. Oh, man.
Jason?
Well, it appears we're out of time.
Hey. Bye.
See ya. Ugly shower, you say? Yeah, if you have one of the ugliest showers, upload a photo to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. You heard me correctly. Right now, if you're on our YouTube or Twitter feed, you can just snap a photo of that QR code. You can get in there, jump on. One lucky fan is going to win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including a design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of that brand-new Kohler Lugstone shower. Upload your photo by April 30th to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for your chance to win that brand-new Kohler Lugstone shower.
Again, scan the QR code. Don't take a picture of it. Scan it. That'll get you to where you need to go to enter the contest. Or, as Tausch often mentions, just go into the brand-new awesome ESPN Wisconsin app. Makes it even easier to just do it that way. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
We're on the Badgers.
There are moments where it feels like you're close, but taken holistically, those look like blips.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
To win a championship, you have to consistently be that team.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. Well, we're about to find out which new young players will be drafted in Green Bay to join the squad and help lead it into the future. Along with hosting the draft for the football world to see, it's an incredibly exciting time in Wisconsin sports. And with all this excitement, maybe it's also time for you to start thinking about a new vehicle. Well, if that's the case, start your search with Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Check out more than 60 new Chevy Equinox on the lot at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the largest selection in the state. There are also more than 30 Silverados and more than 30 sporty new Trax and Trailblazer models. Stop into Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie and discover this great selection of new vehicles from the automotive team I've been telling you about for years. Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Shop Beauty Rest Black mattresses at Steinhoffels. The new Beauty Rest Black is only $42 per month when you use Steinhoffels 60-month financing, only at Steinhoffels. Luke Fickell on Wilde and Tausch as spring ball concludes. The Badger head coach addressing constant changes in college football. His take on the challenge younger players face today.
This league has changed, and I think that means as a younger guy in a program, you don't have nearly as much time. You got to become a pro. You got to grow up. You got to mature really fast if you want to play. And if you don't, you got to look for some of these guys that have a lot more maturity walking in the door.
Playback Luke Fickell's appearance on Wilde and Tausch on the brand new ESPN Wisconsin app.
Everyone is talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Spring is here, and Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison is celebrating with two fantastic promotions: Rollover Jackpot and Super Picks. Every Tuesday in April will be our Rollover Jackpot drawings. The jackpot grows by $500 with each drawing until a winner is found. And on Saturday afternoon, April 26th, is Super Picks, where 21 winners will each go to the big punch board to reveal a prize up to $5,000. That's over $100,000 in possible cash prizes in one day. April brings so many ways to win at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
The Milwaukee Bucks, the Indiana Pacers, Game 1.
Reverse layup off the window and in. What a play by the Greek Freak.
Saturday on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
Love is ablaze, I saw flames from the side of the stage, and the fire brigade comes in a couple of days. Until then, we got nothing to say and nothing to know, but something to drink and maybe something to smoke. Let it go until our roads are changed, singing we found love.
Thanks to Homer for his insights on youth sports and player input into their organizations. I did enjoy the fact that he basically said players should have no input, and then less than 15 seconds later, he said the Bucks should do whatever Giannis wants. That was an interesting juxtaposition.
Tricky scenario.
Speaking of the Bucks, do we have the Bucks odds of winning the NBA title? Has ESPN Bet put those out?
Before we ask Jesse that, and I know you're not a gambler, you're a party planner, what would you think that number would be?
60-1.
I think it's higher. I'm going to venture to say it's 150-1 to win.
And you're not cheating. You haven't seen this information.
I haven't looked. No, matter of fact, I asked Jesse, and I never do this, to look that up prior to the show because
and you never heard back from him.
The good news.
I got it.
Jesse's
I
on
got it.
The good news is Dalla Dame got great news.
Yeah,
he's back.
Game 2.
I guess get back at it a little bit. I thought that they could get through the Indiana series even without Dalla Dame. Obviously, it'll help. You get through that. You got a long stretch here. Now that I learned that Rollins is on the team, I'm excited. And we don't have to play Boston till the conference championship. I'm starting to get a little more bullish. I still don't think we can beat Boston. And the odds would tell us that they're not going to beat Cleveland. But when you get – I watched The Office. The goofy accountant guy, Kevin, would always say, if you get this number odds, you got to take it. I remember that episode. So, Jesse, what are those odds?
All right. So, according to ESPN Bet, the way that they list... Yes, the way that they...
That's what the kids say. Bet.
ESPN.
Tough.
The way that they list the championship odds is they do plus whatever to win. So, for example, Oklahoma City is the favorite at plus 180. The Celtics are plus 190.
And for those of us that don't go to Hard Rock, Rockford,
you bet 100, you get $1.90.
Yep.
In essence, right?
So in that case, you would bet 100 on Oklahoma City at plus 180. You would win $180. Correct. Yeah. So plus 180. When you bet 100,
so
that's
you'd
what
really
you
only
get.
win $80 though, right? Or do you win 180?
You would win 180. Because you would win 180, not 80.
But that includes the $100 that you wagered.
No, so you win 180.
No, it's giving
so
you
get
the
280
net total.
back,
Yeah,
which
280
is the
would be your.
Okay.
You would get 280 back. You would win 180 plus 180.
Nobody would ever.
Yeah.
Bet
Are you
that
sure?
Positive. I just put it in
I'm pretty
here.
sure on that too. Yep.
Okay.
All right, continue, Jesse.
So the Milwaukee Bucks, knowing that, are listed at plus 10,000 on ESPN Bet to win the NBA Finals. So that
plus 10 grand,
Kevin.
So that means if you bet $100, you would win 10,000 in return on
if
the Bucks.
If they won the NBA title,
according to ESPN Bet at this moment, right now.
And you'd also get your $100 back.
And you would get your 100 back. Yes.
See, it's good to be informational too. Wow, that sounds insane, doesn't it?
Are you?
What is Golden State at, Jesse? What's Golden State, who's a 7 seed? Just won in the playoff. What are they?
Golden State has the 5th best odds of all teams to win the title at plus 1,500.
Playoff Jimmy.
And the Bucks are 10,000.
Bucks are plus 10,000.
Golden State's at 1,500?
Yep.
What are the Lakers at?
Why don't I just tell you all the teams?
No, I don't want all of them, but the Lakers, I think,
just as we go,
I think it is set up for the Lakers to win a championship.
The Lakers have the 4th best odds of all NBA teams at plus 1,300, just in front of Golden State.
Dang.
So wait,
would you
is
like
Oklahoma City the favorites?
No, Nuggets aren't winning this year.
Run down the list.
All right.
Nuggets
if
aren't
you don't
winning.
mind.
Jason?
Oklahoma City plus 180. This is all according to ESPN Bet in my hand on my phone right now. Here it is, right here. ESPN Bet.
Okay, yeah, great.
Oklahoma City plus 180. Celtics plus 190. Cavs plus 575. Lakers plus 1,300. Golden State 1,500. Then we get to the Clippers plus 2,500 in the West. The Knicks.
It's not a bad bet there either. That's not a bad
one.
You
can't pick all of them and say they're not bad bets.
Well, you could. How much
No,
would
you
win?
can't, Jesse. That's called hedging. Yes, it is.
I'm an expert.
Come on.
The Knicks plus 3,000.
Not happening.
Okay.
Out.
Your Nuggets, Jokic plus 3,300.
Not happening. Out.
Timberwolves plus 4,000. They're playing
Not
the Lakers.
happening. Blip. Not happening.
Rockets plus 8,000. And they're the 2 seed against Golden State, the 7.
Yeah, I think they want the Lakers to play Golden State. So I think it's going to be...
Oh, now the conspiracy train's going to get going on.
No,
this
not
too.
conspiracy. I just think... You don't think that there's a lot of folks that wouldn't love seeing Golden State play the Lakers?
The Rockets don't.
Well, the Rockets at plus 8,000. The Rockets at plus 8,000 is crazy to me as a 2 seed.
Same odds as the Pacers plus 8,000.
Not happening.
So the Pacers are favored then. They're more likely to win the NBA title than the Bucks
That is
are,
correct.
according to ESPN Bet.
That is correct.
That is what they say, yes.
Then you get, so the Bucks are like the last team at plus 10,000. There's a big cutoff. Pistons, 25,000. Hawks, 75,000. And Grizzlies, Magic, Mavericks, they're all ridiculous. Yeah.
Don't you think it's worth taking a flyer?
Can I bet $1 and win 1,000, or does it not work that way?
Well, why don't I tell you?
You can, yeah. No, I think you can.
You can. You can go to ESPN Bet. You can bet $1 on the Milwaukee Bucks to win the NBA Finals, and you would win $100 plus your one back if you were to put that wager down in the great state of Illinois or Iowa or wherever
And
you
if I
want to go
bet
and
10, I can win 1,000.
That is how this works, yes.
Ooh.
Drive on down today to the Hard Rock Casino, Rockford. Have some fun.
Let's do this, guys. Jesse, are you going to Rockford in the next day or two?
I'm thinking about it, seeing this. You want to
All right,
carpool?
You just drove by it
I should have done it the other day. You're right.
To Peoria.
We didn't know Dame was playing.
Why did
then.
we not plan this out? You guys know.
Because we don't
excited
plan
about
anything.
this.
What are you new here?
Except 8th grade
Excited
dances.
about this new. Excited about this new partnership with Hard Rock Casino Rockford. We have the opportunity to do all this fun stuff. The new Hard Rock Casino in Rockford features over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space, including more than 1,300 slot machines, 50 live table games, a sports book where you can do all this fun stuff that we're just talking about, and a rock shop. And if you're hungry, guests can enjoy diverse dining options at the Hard Rock Cafe. You can go Council Oaks steaks and seafood, bricked Italian kitchen, the noodle bar, street tacos, and constant grind. Head on down. We're going to send some money with Jesse. Jesse's going to head over to the Hard Rock. It's right off on the way. Right on the way off of 90 there. That big old guitar.
On the way to
purple
where?
with
Where's
gold.
he going?
Shining.
Anywhere in the world.
Shining through. Head on in. The Bucks at 20,000. Is that right, Jesse?
No,
I want to make sure I'm right.
10,000. Oh, my God.
10,000. Well, I don't remember, Jason. It's not about listening. Head on down to Hard Rock. Get some of those fun ones in. Jesse's going to do that. If you want to, I'm not going to go in there. Premier entertainment destination just off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois, to have all the fun you could possibly want.
The 11
I
o'clock.
think the Lakers and the Bucks are your play here. That's what I think.
Not Golden State.
No.
And not the Rockets, plus 8,000 is
Well,
a 2 seed.
No, I think it's not worth it. I think the odds are it's going to be Celtics-Lakers. The Lakers you're getting at 1,300. Celtics you're getting at, plus 90 or plus 190.
Yeah, not much on the Celtics or Oklahoma City. Yeah.
I actually think Bucks, Cavaliers, Lakers is where I want you to go, Jesse. Bucks, Cavaliers, Lakers.
We will kick off the 11 o'clock hour with some prize picks, which would be individual players as opposed to plus 10,000 for the Bucks.
That's projections. Those are only projections, yes.
Individual players.
Very different. Very different.
Very different player projections.
Indeed.
Team.
Thank you for emphasizing that. We'll do that in 2 minutes. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Milwaukee Bucks basketball on 100.5 ESPN. The playoffs start tomorrow. Bucks Pacers, 12 p.m. tip. Pre-game coverage starts at 11:30 on the Bucks Radio Network right here on Madison's Home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN. You just heard all about the Bucks-Pacers matchup. We're going to continue talking about it on Wilde and Tausch. There's also baseball happening starting tonight. The Brewers hosting the Athletics for a 3-game series over the weekend at American Family Field. 7:10 first pitch tonight. Freddie Peralta, opening day starter, on the mound for Milwaukee. The Brewers actually haven't beaten the Athletics in Milwaukee since 2016 due to a weird scheduling quirk and getting swept 2 years ago at American Family Field. Athletics Brewers tonight, 7:10 first pitch here on 100.5 ESPN. Meanwhile, the NFL draft less than 1 week away up in Green Bay. If you've missed any of the great conversations featuring ESPN's NFL draft experts, Field Yates this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on ESPN Milwaukee. Mel Kiper Jr. last week on Wilde and Tausch. Matt Miller on Jim, Matt, and Molly. Check it all out on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Hour of Wilde and Tausch starts very late when I get to our prize picks projections, but I've listened to Jesse's Sports Centers on ESPN Madison now.
Yeah, he's wearing this Oakland A's thing out.
Well,
I'm agreeing with
they're
you.
not the Oakland A's.
Wrong team.
Well, they are to me. They're
just the Athletics. I am surprised that we've gotten this deep into the show and we haven't discussed how you guys wrote off the Milwaukee Brewers after they were swept by this team the last time it came to Milwaukee. And that turned out to be very
They didn't win a championship.
This is a big revenge weekend for the Milwaukee Brewers for this show.
And for you guys, exactly.
Am I crazy? Did they make a World Series that year? We said they weren't going to be a championship team. That's what we said.
Oh, yeah, only if it went through Milwaukee.
I didn't mention anything about
they lost to the Diamondbacks in Milwaukee in the first round of the wild card round.
That's not what you said. You didn't. Come on, you're revisionist.
Say what
historian.
you mean to say. No, we said they weren't going to win a championship. You can't get swept by a team that's. They were done.
Didn't say, no, they weren't done. They made the playoffs. They weren't done.
They didn't
when
win
the
a
season
chip,
ended,
brother. You
it
know
wasn't
it's about
over.
chippy chips. No, it wasn't over.
You never
We knew they were going to keep playing.
You're such a...
Don't give me that look.
Time for our prize picks.
Been a while since we've had the prize picks of the week featured.
Love the music.
It's back, and it's back for the NBA playoffs.
Oh, this is the best. This is the best.
Games
From
just
prize
about
pick
every
standpoint,
day.
I love the NBA playoffs, Jesse. I do. I mean, it's great. Football, everything else is great. This is our time to shine on prize picks.
Flex Friday today, so it's a free $5. If you miss, you get it back refunded. You can use it again tomorrow. It's great. Love prize picks and everything they offer, especially this time of year. Promo code WI if you're signing up for the first time, want to get in on the action with us. All right, so these are real projections courtesy of our friends at Prize Picks. How are we picking them for tomorrow's game, Old T? This is Bucks-Pacers Game 1 Saturday. Giannis.
All right.
More or less than 51.5 points, rebounds, assists, all combined.
Oh, more. He is, no Dallas Dame. He is just a machine, and I think everything is going to go through him. He's going to play a ton of minutes. He's a dog, and I don't know how everybody else, Rollins and the boys, I don't know how all of them are going to respond. Playoff basketball, meaningful games, spotlight games, road games. I don't know how Kuz is going to do. Is he going to be draining threes like he did at the end of this? I don't know. But what I do know, Giannis is a dog. 51.5 is a lot. That's a lot. But I'm going to say more.
I'm going to say more as well. I am very curious to see him play an entire playoff series and be healthy for it. That has not happened, as we've kind of piled on with them. Oh, they haven't won. As you heard in trivia, the only team they've beaten in a series since winning the title are the Chicago Bulls. They also, Giannis or someone has always been hurt in the postseason for them. In fact, they won a title despite Giannis being hurt during one of the series that they had to win the title. So I would love for Dame to be declared fully healthy after his deep vein thrombosis blood clot. He's going to play. He's not playing game 1. Is that correct?
He is not playing game 1. He is
game
out.
2 is when he would play if he's playing. I want to see what this team can do. I'm not wagering. I do not have time to make it down to Rockford today, but we are going to go there for a show down the road. So I'm not going to be wagering on it, but look, I want to see what this team is capable of when it's got everybody. Bobby Portis is back. I want to believe. I want to believe. And everyone being healthy gives you a heck of a lot more to believe in. I'm taking Giannis more on this one, though.
Yeah, until they're not healthy, the Giannis is going to have to carry the workload. So 51.5, I'm like the more there as well. Brook Lopez, more or less than 1.5 made 3-point shots tomorrow afternoon, Tausch. He's done that in 2 of the last 5 games down the stretch. He's made 1 3 in every game of the last 5.
So here's the deal. Brook Lopez has been great. I think everybody, he's going to... Is his number going to get retired?
No, just Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter.
Brook Lopez is old. You know what happens when you get older? You get a little more tired. Your legs get a little heavier. He played all these minutes this year. He's been great. Just had a week. He took a beat, had a meal. Probably going to go to Elmo's tonight, get a little shrimp, get a little of that good hot shrimp sauce. He is going to be fresh. Legs equals shots made. Legs equals shots made. His legs are fresh. He makes a couple threes. Bam! Go more.
Wait a minute. He's fresh now? Didn't you just say he played a lot of minutes?
He's had a full week off. He hadn't had that in a minute. Yeah. Hadn't played since, I don't know, did he even play Sunday? Probably sat out.
When Connaughton had 43.
He's had a full week.
I don't know how tired he is when you're old. Well, you did say he played a lot of minutes all season, though. Is a week enough to get him? How fresh will he be a week from now, then?
Fresh. He's going to be fresh tomorrow.
As a daisy. I'm going to take less. Next.
Okay.
By the way, that was the little devil guy with the 1.5 made threes. You could do the little goblin guy, which makes it easier. 0.5 made threes. So that is available.
You know what? Switch that. Give me the goblin.
But he's fresh.
Or give me the little.
But he's fresh.
Give me the little green guy. Well, you're going to hand it out. I want it. Green. There we go.
Kyle Kuzma, more or less than 13 points. Flat 13 for Kuzma. You going to pass?
What is... I don't want to go on this one. So what is... I guess I'd have to hit that little click in the left corner where you get all of the past analytics.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm tempted to say less on 13, but I'm not going to touch that one.
All I really want to know is what are the projections for Ryan Rollins?
6.5. Feel like we got to take more on Rollins just based on how
just out of principle
it went earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, give us one more, Jesse.
Kuzma, by the way, more than 13 points in 3 of his last 5 games down the stretch. So playing well with Dame out. Tyrese Halliburton on the other side, Oshkosh's finest, more or less than 19.5 points for Tyrese Halliburton.
He's their main scorer, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I got to go more. I had said all week I'd say less. I'm going to go more. Hallie, Scotty guy. It's a great little rivalry we've got going here.
Oh, wow.
Indiana and the Milwaukee Bucks. It's kind of fun.
I actually...
A lot of venom.
Good story.
There's vigor
about it, yep.
There's vigor and venom, which is a good combination when you're looking from a sports standpoint.
I want to make sure I stand corrected. I did not know this. Pascal Siakam is actually the Pacers' leading scorer.
I was just about to ask you about that.
20 points a game he's averaging. I thought it was Halliburton easy. It's Pascal Siakam.
Oh, okay.
They're pretty balanced. Now I'm looking. Benedict Mathurin, 16 a game. Miles Turner, 15 a game.
Benedict?
Yeah.
How many Benedicts are there?
Not many.
Him and Arnold.
More than Marks.
That's what I've heard. There's not even one on this show. Just a Tausch.
Go ahead,
Tausch,
Jason.
Tell us about Prize Picks and how we can run our game.
Yeah, Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. 10 million members, billions of dollars in awarded winnings. And Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to everybody, more or less. That's all you got to do. Jesse just ran through it. I love the playoffs. Love it. It's a great time to get in. If you have not jumped in to Prize Picks yet, it is the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states. And the app is so easy, even I can use it. More or less, you can win up to 2,000 times your money. And we got a free Flex Friday. If you're thinking about this, you've been wondering, I don't know, I got to do this, I got to load an app. Trust me, I've been there. Now you get free Flex Friday, so you get that 5 free. And if you download the app, use that code WI, you get another $50 after you play that first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
Great enunciation. That's not criticism, that's praise. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Looking to transform your home with stylish furniture and home accessories without breaking the bank? At your local IKEA in Oak Creek, they believe everyone deserves a beautiful and affordable living experience that enhances your everyday life. From comfortable and fashionable sofas and sectionals, to kitchens full of inspiration, to bedrooms designed to help you find your best sleep and relaxation, IKEA's home furnishing combines form and function to fit any lifestyle and budget. Visit IKEA Oak Creek today or explore their collection online at ikea.com/US.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Hey, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network, and I've got a question for you. Is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with the leading manufacturers, including Pella, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, and LP Smart Side Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of 5-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for home improvement needs. Plus, consultations and estimates are always free, so there's no reason to wait. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com to schedule your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Ridgetop Exteriors is the place for you.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck & Honey's. Make your Easter celebration one to remember. Spring into this holiday season at Buck & Honey's. Their award-winning restaurant offering seasonal dishes, handcrafted cocktails, and exceptional service. As you gather with loved ones this spring, don't forget to plan ahead for Mother's Day. Treat mom to an unforgettable meal in a warm and inviting atmosphere. Celebrate great food and great company this Easter and Mother's Day. Make your reservation today at their locations in Sun Prairie, Monona, Wanakee, or Mount Horeb. We'll see you at Buck & Honey's.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
After a storm, even seemingly small damage can lead to major problems. If your roof or siding took a hit with this recent storm, your insurance may cover the damage, but the process is still a nightmare. Badgerland Exteriors makes it seamless. They'll guide you through every step and get your family's home back in tip-top shape just as fast as that storm ripped through.
Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
We've been telling you about the all-new, all-improved, all-free, all-customizable ESPN Wisconsin app. Your state, your teams, your ESPN, the Wisconsin sports fans' best way to stay in touch with their favorite ESPN Wisconsin shows and keep up with their favorite teams. So make sure you download it in the App Store, both on the Apple App Store and the Android App Store. If you go there now, you'll find our conversation with Luke Fickell, Badgers football coach, yesterday. And I thought it was a really good conversation. We've had him on a bunch of times, and I thought he was really good. One of the things that I thought was really interesting, though, was discussing the challenges of the transfer portal and NIL and what he said about it. Here is Fickell yesterday with us.
I know for a fact that we've got a plan that I feel much better about, as opposed to even the last couple of years where it's hard to have a plan just because there is no structure and throwing stuff at the wall and hoping that it sticks, unfortunately, and that just hasn't boded well for us. And that's not an excuse. That's the landscape, and that's slowed down the development of a lot of younger guys. But I think we're in a better place now, and I do love the development.
So when he says that we've got a better plan now, is that just you've been through the Wild West that we've talked about for years now, ever since the NIL and the transfer portal pieces came into being, and that doesn't necessarily translate into, okay, we're going to win 11 games this year, but does that give you, when you hear him talk that way, I know for me, Jason, I was happy to hear that, because it's acknowledging that they haven't done a good enough job of figuring out this very challenging landscape, and now they've got a better plan for how to deal with it. I don't know. If I'm a Badgers fan, I would be encouraged by that part. I thought that was very encouraging to hear from him. Would you agree?
Good. I'm glad that you feel that way. Listen, man, I think you obviously always learn, or at least if you don't, you don't grow. You have to learn and figure things out. There's some things you can't prepare for, this portal and the fact that there's a spring and a fall. You lost two guys into the portal that you were expecting to be contributors, but at least you figured that out now. So for as much as we'd love to have everybody kind of working together and then figuring it out so that you have a really good idea of what your roster is going to look like in the fall, that's not the landscape that we're in. So I do think navigating and kind of figuring out that everything is fluid, you're seeing that every college coach, even if they don't want to, has adjusted to that. And I do think if you look at, and if you're going to be able to get out to the spring showcase tomorrow, which is at noon, you're going to see some things, especially on the defensive side of the ball, that you're going to think, this looks a lot different. Now, I don't know if that's going to be better. It's going to hopefully be better than what we saw against Minnesota, Iowa, and Nebraska. And I think you're going to see some of those body types. It looks different. Now we'll see as the continues on, keeping guys and getting to fall camp and having everybody healthy. But, yes, there's no doubt that this group is now in their third year. There's more of a comfort level and an understanding of what they need in order to be successful, and hopefully that's the path that we're going down.
Our guy Mark Osiki joins us for Feel Good Friday, coming up a little bit later in the show to discuss Casting for Kids, which is one of our favorite events. It benefits the UW Children's Hospital, and Oz does such a great job with it. I think it's in its 7th or 8th year now. We'll talk to him. Before we can get to that, we're going to get to Whoa Nelly, and that's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here, and with another Milwaukee basketball playoff run starting this weekend, I'm really hoping to be feeling good for the next several weeks, just like I'm always feeling good on Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints. And don't miss some of the best feel-good stories of the week coming up to close out today's show and send you off into the weekend right. And speaking of starting something right, when you're ready to get started on your spring paint project at home, do what my family did and trust the pro painters at Holman Lindsay Paints. Holman Lindsay is the one paint that can withstand the challenges of Wisconsin's weather year-round. Get connected with the pro painter best for what your project calls for by stopping into any Madison area Holman Lindsay location and simply asking a member of the team. Holman Lindsay, great paint, great people, and check them out at hallmanlindsay.com. And stick around for Feel Good Friday coming up to close out today's show, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 100.5 ESPN.
Lillard's going to tee up a three, and he splashes it through for the left wing.
Brought to you by Michelob Ultra, the official beer of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Back-to-back wins against the Pistons over the weekend for the Bucks, and they end their regular season on an 8-game winning streak, undefeated in the regular season in the month of April. Here's head coach Doc Rivers on improvements.
Yeah, just offensive execution. There's times we have these dead periods in the game that you can't afford to have in the playoffs. Transition defense is probably the number one key. Corner threes, I guess, and then rebounding. That would be it.
Bucks and Pacers will get their first-round series going in Indianapolis. That one tips off at noon on Saturday.
This has been your Milwaukee Basketball Report on Madison's home for Bucks basketball, 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde?
Yeah, everybody's talking about it. Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's number one pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 4/30/2025.
Whether tailgating or hosting at home, don't serve boring, bland food. As the official grill of the Green Bay Packers, Pit Boss brings the heat with a wide range of wood pellet grills, smokers, and hardwood pellet fuel. Reach another level of flavor that can't be achieved with a charcoal or gas grill, and it's beyond easy. Seriously, Pit Boss grills get cooking with just a few simple steps. Grill, smoke, bake, roast, braise, char grill, barbecue, and direct flame sear. The all-in-one Pit Boss does it all. Learn more today at pitboss-grills.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the Athletics.
Drive in a right center field. This is way back. Track to the wall. Goodbye.
Tonight on 100.5 ESPN.
Before we get to Oz, we get to Jesse and Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
The NFL unveiled the list yesterday of the current and former players who will be announcing draft picks.
I noticed there was one omission.
Coming up at the NFL draft in Green Bay. I noticed there was a name not on here as well. Let's see if it's the same one. For the Green Bay Packers, announcing picks at the NFL draft in Green Bay, Jerry Kramer, Jordy Nelson, and Dave Robinson.
Those are good names. A lot of 2 Hall of Famers, and I don't know if Jordy won't be an NFL Hall of Famer probably, but definitely a Packer Hall of Famer as he got in.
Those are your day 2 announcers of picks, and I'm just realizing the list.
I didn't understand that they only have 1 pick in the second round. So who's?
Well, there's
what
third
other
round
picks are they
too.
announcing?
So this list that I'm looking at here it says number 54 and number 87 overall for the Packers pick. So I don't know if they're going to divide
87
it up.
is the third round.
Maybe Jerry and Dave walk out together, or Jordy and Jerry walk out together.
Well, maybe they know Goody's going to trade back and get some picks.
They just assume we're going to trade the first round pick, so be on standby. Yeah, that could be it.
Maybe.
Several Wisconsin Badgers will be announcing picks at the NFL draft as well, including James White, newly retired Ryan Ramczyk. Did you guys see that from the New Orleans Saints? Yeah.
Great career for Ramczyk.
Alec Ingold, Melvin Gordon, among others, who will be in attendance at the NFL draft. Tausch, should they call you?
That's the name that I was surprised not to see on the list.
No, I did notice a lot of Wisconsin alumni. And I'm assuming Green Bay probably has at least one Wisconsin alumni that would have loved to have announced a draft pick, right? Randy Wright could have. Billy Ferrario.
Vince Beagle.
Vince Beagle. Yeah, there would have been, notice that almost every NFL team with Wisconsin alumni have put their alumni out as part of the showcase of the state of Wisconsin and Green Bay, so I applaud all of those teams for doing that.
Monte Ball is on the list.
Yeah.
He's doing one.
I don't know how I missed this one. Joe Thomas will be announcing the Browns pick. Didn't he just have surgery a week or 2 ago?
A new hip.
He's moving around good, though. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah.
There are a lot of names that are Wisconsin players. James White is going to do the Patriots selection. I saw Bo Allen is doing the Eagles selection. Tim Krumrie, a legend in Badger football history, doing the Cincinnati Bengals. But again, I'm just Lee Evans is doing the Buffalo Bills pick. So there's a lot of them there. I guess one of the other people that I thought might be on there would be either a recent Pro Football Hall of Famer or someone who's going into the Hall of Fame that has a Green Bay connection, either Leroy Butler or Sterling Sharp, who's going into the Hall. I was a little bit surprised that neither of them were on the list for any sort of appearance. What I don't get about this list that they sent us is they have this long list of Packers picks. 3, 6, 7 selections. They've got 8 picks total, right? The Packers alumni who are that are on the list: Mason Crosby, Amon Green, James Jones, Jerry Kramer, Clay Matthews, Jordy Nelson, Dave Robinson. Again, they're not going to send a Packer up there for every pick that Goody makes, are they? So are they collaborating? Is there going to be everyone working together? I don't understand it, so I'm eager to see how it plays out. Oh, Nelly.
Yeah, I just applaud all of the NFL teams that have brought in Wisconsin alumni to do those picks. I think that is a really nice touch by those teams that have done that.
Yep, I agree.
Whoa, Nelly!
But it says they're announcing the second and third round picks. The Packers have one of each of those, and they have 7 guys listed. I don't understand. That's all.
Yeah, are there any Wisconsin alumni on that list from a Packers standpoint?
Nope.
Interesting. Next.
Whoa, Nelly!
That's the name I was looking for, too, once again.
Well,
this is awkward.
Easter is this weekend. What is
Egg hunts. He is risen.
I was going to ask you about egg hunts. What is the best way to do an Easter egg hunt? Because I feel like every time we do them, regardless of which family Beck and I are with, they're always a little underwhelming.
Just all you got to do is ask Tausch's brother. He's like the GOAT of Easter egg hunts.
Yeah, he's really good at it.
Well, what's the key?
He's really good at it.
Well, Tausch doesn't know.
It's
his brother that
you
knows.
have to put 1 or 2 big boy eggs. First off, Jesse, it's a lot more fun when you have 5 and 6-year-olds and little kids that are running around, and you let them go out first, get the eggs, and you have some prizes. You put it in, and then you pull the number out. And you say, number 6. I got this candy bar, et cetera, et cetera.
Why do we have to reserve the
and
Easter
then you
egg
have to
hunt
have
for
the
the
big boy
kids?
egg.
Why can't the adults do the Easter egg
Well,
hunt?
hold up, if I may.
Oh,
then
boy.
if it's older, you have the eggs hidden in some really tough spots. You want it to be where you get them. There's easy, and then there's a couple of difficult ones where you put a 20 in it. You put a little something in there that makes it interesting for the adults to really go and scrap to get that egg. That's the key.
10,000 to 1 odds on one specific egg. You really pay off.
Hide it in
Plus,
Rockford.
you get your $100 back.
How fun would it? Hold up a second, Jesse.
Oh, boy.
This is what you should do. Get you and Tyler and your buddies. You sprinkle. Go down to Hard Rock. Sprinkle around on like 4 or 5 teams, and that is the payout. You know how a lot of times when you do those Saran balls, you get lottery tickets. This is so much better.
Go get
much better.
Go get a paper ticket from the Hard Rock Rockford, put it in the Easter egg, and then hide 1 egg for each NBA team or whatever.
That is correct.
And that's what you get. Huh.
Yes.
You're onto something.
Matter of fact, I think I'm going to call my younger brother, who is closer to the Rockford casino, or my mom. Mom, Diane! I know you're listening. Head down, get some futures at the Hard Rock. It's a beautiful building that I just told you about, the guitar. Hop in there, get a futures on the Bucks, the Lakers, and the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we're going to put those in eggs. And I hope my nephews get it and they win big. That would be a beautiful deal. And they'll learn about money and odds and math, and it could be educational, it could be fun, and it could be financial. All 3. It's beautiful.
Right. Educational.
All right, that is it for Whoa Nelly. We need to get ready for Marco Siki to join us. We also need to pick this week's trivia winner. Jesse, that sounds a little light on chips.
Jesse's doing that, Jason, let me tell you about American Family Insurance, a proud sponsor of Wilde and Tausch for almost 100 years. They've been committed to making life better with the right home and auto protection, so you're free to enjoy your dreams. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Selecting. Yeah, not as many in here as there were in previous weeks. Congratulations to...
Because today nobody got anything right.
Well, the guy who got the most right is the winner, Dave in Verona. Congratulations, Dave. You're the winner of Wilde and Tausch Trivia this week.
Bravo, Dave. All right, we wrap up the week and wrap up the show with Feel Good Friday, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints. And Marco Siki, our hockey guy and our charitable guy, joins us next. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
I'm the most guaranteed person you can take.
The 2025 NFL Draft.
Is he a lockdown corner? Is he an elite receiving entity?
Round 1 begins Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Simden Chevrolet in Mount Horeb. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevrolet in Mount Horeb. A new landscape. Luke Fickell on Wilde and Tausch as spring ball concludes. The Badger head coach addressing constant changes in college football. His take on the challenge younger players face today.
This league has changed, and I think that means as a younger guy in a program, you don't have nearly as much time. You got to become a pro. You got to grow up. You got to mature really fast if you want to play. And if you don't, you got to look for some of these guys that have a lot more maturity walking in the door, because that's what you're going to play against every single week.
Playback Luke Fickell's appearance on Wilde and Tausch on the brand new ESPN Wisconsin app.
Everyone is talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
People travel the world to collect Hard Rock shirts, and Hard Rock Casino Rockford is going to give the people what they want. Get in on the action at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where all new Unity card signups receive an official Hard Rock shirt, plus free play to kickstart a winning streak. Whether you're spinning the slots or playing the tables, you'll be dressed for success. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Chevy Truck Month is back. Get more truck for your buck at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Right now, get 2.9% APR financing for 72 months and $6,000 off MSRP on a 2025 Chevy Silverado. That's right, 2.9% for 6 years. That really is more truck for your buck. But hurry, offer ends on April 30th. Never overpay. Shop Zimbrick Chevrolet. No down payment required. Monthly payments equal $15.15 per 1,000 financed with approved credit through GM Financial.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
At Gruber Law Offices, our biggest priority is the care and service we provide to our clients. We know accidents can be overwhelming, and we're here to help every step of the way. Call now. One call, that's all.
You gotta get down on Friday. It's time to finish the week off right. It's Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Hallman Lindsay.
Born and raised under the rain and a western wind, felt the way. Try to live up to the say.
It is Feel Good Friday, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints, and we always feel good when this guy joins us. We learn a lot more about hockey every time we talk to him, but more importantly, he's such a do-gooder, including with casting for kids.
He is a do-gooder, isn't he?
He is.
He is a do-gooder.
One of the all-time good doers. You can go to castingforkids.org. I'm looking at the bidding right now on a variety of hockey jerseys, experiences. I'm leaning toward the bidding on
How
the
about
Matthew
that 2-hour
Tkachuk.
DJ at an 8th grade? How about that 2-hour DJ at an 8th grade dance?
Yeah, no,
that was on there.
I didn't scroll far enough. Joining us now, it is our friend, one of the all-time great dudes, Marco Sicchi on Wilde and Tausch. Oz, how are you today?
Good morning, boys. How you guys doing?
Well, I'll be honest with you. We've been doing this now for a long time. I've taken a lot of grief for not wanting to bait my own hook, for not going out on the water. I just want to say that I have checked my calendar, and May 17th, well, it works for me, but I'm not going to come. But it is a great event. I'm really excited again for you. One of these years I'm going to make it there. But tell us more about what you got going on. You've been doing this. This is what, number 7? 7th annual, is it?
7 years.
You're such a good dude. Tell us more about what you got planned for this year.
Well, before that, I'm a little disappointed because I know Tausch is in charge of all the music. Coming out of break, he should have had Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, Little Fishing in the Dark.
Yeah, that's true. Should have done that.
Jesse doesn't listen.
You're all
Jesse doesn't listen to anything, so that doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, this is our 7th annual. Actually, 8 years. The 1 year we had to stop because of COVID, but 7th annual. So you see the online auction. That's live. We finally got that up and running late last night. And I wanted to get that out there early, and let people look at that and mull it over until our event. And the event it's going to be awesome again this year. We're going to cap it off at 80 boats. We're about 50 right now, so people should get signed up, and they go to casting4kids.org to get signed up. And then we'll probably have again around 450 to 500 guests at the dinner auction. It's a blast. It's a party. It's low key. It's wear your shorts, hats, grab a red Solo cup and start drinking and have some fun. And that's what we want. We want to have, raise the awareness and hopefully raise some dollars, but really put smiles on faces and have fun. That's what it's all about.
So, Oz, why did you, we know you've been doing this for a while, but why this cause? Why did you decide this is what you wanted to do?
Well, obviously there's, two components of it. Obviously it's the Children's Hospital, American Family Children's Hospital, and UW Carbone Cancer Center. So you combine both of them. So pediatric cancer and research and whatever we can do for the Children's Hospital. The people over there are miracle workers. They're awesome. But for me, it hit home. You can't look too far to your right or left or take a step, and somebody's been hit with cancer. It's affected our family personally. And then for me, it was always that I started my life out in the Children's Hospital. And so it's something in the back of my mind that I always wanted to do if I ever had the opportunity. And lucky enough, I ran into some great friends, some great full-time guides, and we kicked this thing off. And without their help, we wouldn't be able to do it.
Again, the website is casting4kids.org. You can find out more about the event. There's the link to the bidding for the auction. Everything you need is there. On the flip side, we understand, having talked to you every year about this, how supportive you are of the UW Carbone Cancer Center and the American Family Children's Hospital. You're a hockey guy. What's your fisherman background? Have you always was that like the off-season activity for you hockey players, or where did the fishing part of the equation come in?
Okay, well, to break it down, my grandfather was a huge fisherman, and my uncle, who unfortunately just passed away the other day, but big time fisherman. And so I got into it at a young age, loved every second of it. And then actually when we were growing up, my brother and I, we used to go downtown Minneapolis, the chain of lakes, and my parents would go on this long bike ride, like 30 miles. And we had our one little huffy bike with one speed and trying to keep up. And we're like, screw this, we're just going to stay and fish. And we just developed a great love for the outdoors and the fishing, and that's carried through. In our hectic lives, it's so nice to get out on a boat and put the phone away and just enjoy nature, and hopefully you catch a muskie or another fish once in a while.
All right, Mark. Again, the website is casting4kids.org. This is a cause that we've talked about with you every year. One of the things that I love about this, though, is that you and Tony Granato are not coaching the Badgers men's hockey team, and yet you have continued to keep doing this every year. I think that says so much about you. I do love it when I have hockey questions, though, and I can text you and Tony. I know we correspond on occasion about that. Give us your breakdown of the NHL playoffs, since Tony's got a TV gig and you've just got us.
Yeah, it's crazy this year. It's been, obviously, I see it up close and personal working with Pittsburgh.
Well, it wouldn't be Florida. All right. So again, if you want to get involved, we love having Oz on the show. It is casting the
and
number 4.
It's such a cool deal, Jason. You keep seeing golf, and there's so many different
but
it's totally different, and that's that's a fun part of this whole thing too.
The event, again, is on May 17th. As Oz said, they're capping it at 80 boats that are going to be out on the water. That is a Saturday, May 17th, 2025. They have raised over $790,000 for the Carbone Cancer Center and the AmFam Children's Hospital. Oz, you're back. I'm going to give you the last word, whether it's about hockey or about the event.
Yeah, I'll give you two little things. The event is going to be a blast because we've had the great support from Don's Marine and Alumacraft to be able to give a boat away in a raffle, and so we've done that. This is the third year with that, so it really holds the room, and we get great excitement building towards that. So that's outstanding. We can't thank them enough. Then on the hockey side, I was mentioning before we got cut off the battles of the East and the West. I like coming out of the West personally. I like Colorado. I like the fact that they're playing Dallas and they get the Rantanen issue. That's going to be exciting to watch. And then in the East, I don't know. I mean, Montreal could surprise Washington. I think that run with Ovi, that's taxing, and that's going to be potentially could affect them a bit. And I like the excitement Montreal has, especially with Caulfield there. But I do like Tampa. I like their goaltender, and I obviously like that number 27 on the back end. And I want to see him do well this year and make a long run.
Oz, we're excited for you. The 7th annual Casting for Kids 2025, May 17th on the Chain of Lakes. Make sure you go to casting4kids.org to get all your information. Thanks, Oz.
All right, thanks for having me. Love the music.
There you go. Jesse got it before we ran out of time.
Atta baby, Jell.
Are you singing along over there, old T?
That's a great tune. It's a great tune.
Come on, well, sing us out.
The whole night through. Let's go. That's all I know.
That's it for us. Have a great weekend. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcast.